let me put this. Okay, so talk to me. Can anybody, does anybody have Ravi's number, Ravi Adhikari?
I guess I do have.
Can you message him? Why is he missing the class? Okay. Okay. So regardless, we're gonna go ahead with the class. I know you guys have IQ, OQ, PQ to finalize and execute. And that's a big thing to do. Unless you do that, you're not gonna be a validation engineer, period. So IQ, OQ, PQ, writing and execution, that is the most important part. So I keep these next two classes like a little easier, so you guys don't have to be distracted so much, and you can still learn these things.
So can I miss the next one? Is that okay?
Next one, yes, but not the last one. Last one is when we're gonna study validation plan. And validation plan is a little tricky. You want to be in the class to understand. Okay, because there are few things in validation plan, but next two class is very easy, piece of cake. You guys gonna understand very easily. So today is what, week 5? Yeah, week 5. So you're gonna study about discrepancy. Okay, and so very easy class today, discrepancy management. We're gonna go through this. Before we get there, any question, any concern? Let's talk 5 minutes. Because today class will be a smaller class anyway. Yeah. So go ahead. What's going on? Arjunji, how is your IQ, OQ coming along?
IQ is good, almost done. Last week you checked my IQ and you gave me some suggestions. I almost finished that part, but OQ and PQ, I'm fighting with it. Hopefully I'll finish this week.
Oh, you're fighting with it. Don't fight. Understand.
Mentally fight with the issues.
Yeah. Okay. And anybody else have any question, concern?
Dhruv sir,
Mm-hmm.
I send you my final IQ.
Okay. I will check it.
Sir, are you gonna tell us how to write the like the document numbers? Like I know you did show us like a few of them, but like as I was going through the documents, like at the end, I was like wondering how to do it.
Yeah, so document number is, mostly what happens is doc control gives you the number. You don't need to generate the number. So usually when you go to any company, they have SOP, how these numbers will be. Like it's gonna be alphanumeric or, alphanumeric with a special character. What it will be, it's specific to each company. Right. So mostly you don't need to get the document number. You don't need to create a document number. You have to go and check with doc control, and they will give you the number. They will ask you, okay, what is the title of your document? You give the title, what kind of document is this, and they will generate a number for you.
Okay, the reason I was wondering is because like on the attachments, you know how you order like that. I was just like wondering like what the order is. Like, say if I was to look at it, I would automatically know if it was like which document it was,
Yeah.
where it was
So
at.
remember, in this industry, every document is unique. Every document have a document number.
Right.
And that is where, it get connected, everything is entity, and it
Mhm.
has to be recorded that way. So each and every document have a document number which will be recorded, and then that's how you're gonna get there. So
All right,
okay,
thank you.
no problem. Meanwhile, you can just kind of pretend a number.
That's what I've been
Because-
pretending. I'm like, I'm hoping to
Yeah,
at least
because
put
we
in the
don't
right
have,
format.
we don't have doc control department here right now. So
I've been making them up.
yeah,
Okay, thank you, sir.
no problem. Anything else? Any concern? Any question? No? Can I go ahead with the class? Avasji, are you here?
Yes, yes, there's,
Okay, perfect,
you.
perfect. Look at you. You look all fresh, handsome.
thank you.
So how you guys feeling so far? This course, classes, do I need to change anything to make it better? Are you guys getting into it? Talk to me. If you don't talk to me, I cannot improve, or I cannot change anything. I mean, because I have success in the past, it doesn't matter. One size fits all. So, you guys are unique, different. How can I do this? How can I make you better understand, and how you can adapt it? What is holding you? What is where you are feeling not, comfortable? Unless you talk to me, I won't be able to work on that area. So it's very important. It's like you all together, you have to talk to me, your success is very important, because that's where my success is hidden. And it's an open secret. If you don't succeed, I won't succeed. So how can I do this? Tell me. You tell me where you are feeling not, everything is learnable. You can learn this. You can do this. If you don't trust in yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, believe in me. You can do this. You got this. It's not something that you cannot do it. But where you feeling weaker, where you feeling lack of confidence, what is that you're not understanding here? You have to talk to me, And of course, there are gaps which you're gonna find, these are each dots. We are going by dot. And once we complete all these dots, then you will see it will make whole sense. The whole cycle will complete the cycle. But right now, you might have questions, concerns, and doubts, and which is okay. But I want you guys to talk about it. Unless you talk about it, I cannot understand. I cannot know. I don't know all of you personally so much. So, I can just look at your face and say, hey, something is not good. What can I do? So let me know how you feeling with course so far. You are in a you guys as a class, you're falling a little behind though, as a whole class. Your IQ, OQ, PQ is supposed to be done by this time. First thing. Second thing, I see lack of motivation a little bit. When I do review classes, 3 or 4 of you guys shows up, and which is kind of, I had a class when, they used to be 15 minutes ahead of me. Always I was feeling in that pressure. Everybody was there. Everybody was involved. everybody was doing what is supposed to be done. And that kind of energy I want. You're building a career, guys, here. This is not just a class where you come here, hang out, you're going to get certificate. It doesn't matter A+ or B, but you will get the certificate. This is not that kind of class. Here you have to get involved, because tomorrow you have to go and work there. Tomorrow you have to give interview, and you are building a career which gonna give you bread, butter, and cherry on the cake, believe me. So these things are not just like that. It doesn't come like that. In 2 months, 2.5 months, you're going to become a validation engineer. No university can give you that certificate in 2 months, except Dhruv sir. So how are you going to get it? How are you going to become validation engineer? Tell me. So I need more involvement. I need more, motivation. I need more kind of, from you guys. I need kind of, even if you're not understanding it, but your involvement will make you understand. Trust me. I need a passion. It has to be your passion. Validation engineering has to be your passion, something you want to do, something you want to be. And unless you make it a passion, you're not gonna get, the best fruit out of it. Trust me. So even like if you really don't like it, what you are doing, you better like it and make it a passion, because there is no going back from here. You might be comfortable with 3 things and not comfortable with 2 things. But if you start doing it, you will become comfortable, because mind, how mind works, understand. Mind is a pattern. Mind, once you give mind a pattern, mind will like it. I remember, when I started smoking first, I didn't like the taste, of my friends, say, hey, give it a try. I was in first time I was just out of the home. I went to do, engineering, and everybody, okay, why don't you try? So first time I didn't like it. And then later I could not quit it, because it was so hard for me. So this is how it is. Get it into your addiction, this validation engineering, get it addicted with, because this is what it's going to pay you. And it is a career you can retire. It has so much to offer. This is the field you want to be. So unless you make it a passion, I can only help up to certain point. You have to make it a passion. You have to make it like, okay, this is what I want to do the rest of my life. And you're going to make a lot of money out of it. Trust me, you're going to make a lot of money out of it. So, and it's not all about money too, another thing is, I always think that way, that I had seen people's life, and, money cannot always give you what you all need. Being a good human and, living of the life. I mean, see, sometimes people think money can solve all the problems, and it doesn't. And I have seen people, losing their lives, and, family is going banana with money. So it's not all about money, as long as, but think it as a, you are validation engineer, and you're going to help people's life. You're going to make changes to the quality of people's life. Tomorrow, you may go back to Nepal and say, hey, you guys doing wrong. We have the law. Let's do it this way so we can save people's life. So this is the passion you need to bring. And that I see lack of passion for this whole class. Some of you have it, and some of you doesn't. So, you need to bring that. Unless you bring that passion, unless you keep on thinking about validation, no matter what you are doing, how are you going to get there in 2.5 months? That's very important. So what stops you? Where are you feeling lack of confidence? Do you still think that you cannot do it? if you think that way, change your mind. You can do it. That's why you are here and you are up to here. So you all gonna make it. But yes, learning first is difficult. You know, as I said, my 4-year-old was writing ABCD like, you know, A is going this way and B is going that way. And now he's 5 years old and his ABCD is perfect. So this is how it happens. You start with shaky thing, you know, a little bit not perfect thing, but you get there eventually, you know. And so, but it needs your involvement, it needs your passion, it needs your, commitment. Where is your commitment? You know, you need to have a commitment for this. So those things are very, very important for any successful people. If you look at around and you know, see the world, every success doesn't come just like that. Any success comes with a lot of commitment, a lot of discipline, and a lot of belief, you know, and then it becomes the pattern of your mind and you're going to do it. You don't know how you're going to do it, but you're going to do it. It comes from within and you're going to make it happen. So it's your belief. How you going to believe? So tell me that. And so that one thing I was feeling a little disappointed. And, you know, when I'm doing review classes, guys, that's what I was saying. I don't want to brag about it, but my time is very valuable because I get paid, you know, I build up my skill set that way that the companies are paying me $140, $150 per hour. So my time is $150 per hour, which I'm, happily giving to you guys. So how are you going to take advantage of that time? Think about it. Your time is not $150 per hour yet, but I want you to get there. And it's possible. Why not? If I could get there, born in Nepal, in Janakpur village, and I didn't have electricity, didn't have all the resources you guys had. And as I told you that I came from very poor family, you know, we didn't have enough food. But if I could make it, all of you should make it because you had better upbringing, better tools while you were growing up. So why not to take that advantage? Why cannot you manage your time? Why cannot you, bring that discipline to do these things? So homework, most of you falling behind, and I need to see more commitment. Okay, just a minute, Ravi sir. So those things are very, very important, guys, in order to succeed in any field. It doesn't matter this field or other field. Wherever you go, if you don't have that discipline and commitment, you're not going to succeed. But here, for sure, you're going to succeed because, I have a proven theory. I'm not experimenting with you guys. Last year we placed 40 plus people in job, full-time and contract. So I'm not experimenting anymore. If you do, and if you bring that passion, nothing can stop you. And you're going to change everything about your life. So that's what I want you guys to have. And yes, Ravi sir, go ahead, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. We can hear you.
Well, I'm accessing from mobile for some reason. My link in email got corrected for some reason. I was asking Sandesh to send me again.
No
So
problem. We'll send you again. Yeah.
That was the reason I was a little late. I was trying to log in from laptop.
Okay. I mean, in those situations, you have to just call me.
Yes.
Don't
Yeah.
feel shy about. Again, no, I mean, I have a lot of respect for you, Ravi sir, but for these
Definitely.
2 months, these 2 months, I'm your teacher and I'm sorry. Sometimes I may get mad at your guys' behavior. So
Appreciate it.
yeah, I need that passion. I need that, workmanship. I need that commitment from you guys. That's what it's going to take you to next level. And it's very important. Okay. So
Got it.
with a lot of respect to you guys, again, after these 2 months, you are my very, very respected person. And Ravi Dai, I know him from my childhood. When I told you that I used to be in a Navy Sun, and his family, it's a very respected family in our district in Tarai. And so I know him from that time. So a lot of respects to you, but right now in these 2 months, I'm your teacher and I have to act as a teacher. So I need
Definitely.
more commitment, more discipline, and more involvement from you guys. Okay.
So Sandesh just sent me the link. I'm moving to my laptop now.
Please.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So anybody wants to, share anything where you feel uncomfortable, lack of motivation, lack of, confidence. What's going on? Talk to me. Ravi sir, you can close your phone now. Yeah.
I'm doing that.
Okay. Very good. What's happening? Talk to me.
Well, I told you, it's not started yet, but I'm going through a training right now.
Yes.
But today was not the case. In fact, today I was coming and for past 10, 15 minutes, I was trying to just locate with.
Okay. No
link.
problem. No
Yeah.
problem. Yeah.
So if that happens, my schedule would be from 4 a.m. to 12 noon.
Okay.
So that is what it looks like till now.
Okay.
So, but for 4 or 5 weeks,
Yes.
I'm in the training.
Okay.
So 4 or 5 weeks, I will not have a problem. But again, I don't know how the trainer there is going to set up their schedule. It looks like Monday through Sunday. No, Tuesday through Sunday.
Okay.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday.
Okay. No problem. So I'm just talking in general to the class, everybody, same thing. Resam sir, what's happening? I need more commitment, more presence.
Yeah,
You're falling
yeah.
little
I'm
behind.
actually,
What's happening?
yeah.
Talk to me.
I agree with that. I'm working on it. So many things comes together, like formatting things, making me a little bit, more time is spending. I have to, I have
No
to spend
problem.
more time on formatting thing.
Yes.
I just want to learn myself. If I make a mistakes, just you have sent the formatting, how to format. I just follow that one too.
Sure.
And that's why it takes taking time too. So as I told you earlier, I had a little bit speed, typing speed also a little bit slow because it's been so long time I haven't typed. So
No problem.
actually I'm almost done with the IQ, almost a little bit formatting thing left there. I'll make it very soon. Maybe hopefully I'll be sending by tomorrow.
Okay. No problem. Milanji, what's happening? Talk to me, please.
Yeah, hi sir. Yeah, I'm almost done with my IQ. Maybe by today or tomorrow I'll be sending you, and by this week I'll be done with my OK and PQ, sir.
Okay.
Yeah,
Any big hurdle, anywhere you feel like not getting it?
Yeah, so these days I'm working with evening class, evening work, and that's why I couldn't join last week. So sorry about that.
No
and
problem.
I watched all the recordings. And everything good. So I had some questions, but I saw the recording, and Avasi, he covered everything. So it was really great watching the recording. Thank you.
I know Avasji does usually,
Yeah.
He covered the question for all of you, which
Yeah,
is good.
Yeah, he covers every doubt. Thank you, Avasi.
Yeah. Very good. Avinashji, what's happening? Your document, I have not seen your document.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm in phone. There's some problem with my laptop. So.
Okay.
So yeah, sir. I'm still working on IQ at the end of the verification.
Okay.
And I haven't started up. Okay, and PQ.
No problem.
So
what is this time management? Or you not getting it? Where are you lacking? Talk to me.
I don't think so I'm lacking because I have like other classes in college, so it's really hard to handle those.
I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
I'm having like a late time with the target due. So But I'll just send you like tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
Yeah, Avinashi, I've been there, done that. You know, when I came to do my master's here, I was
Mhm.
not son of minister who have a lot of money. So I was working, you know, a night job, odd jobs, and doing my study. And, you know, so been there, I have been struggling, and I can understand, I can relate with your situation and things, you know, because most of us, you know, we are kind of from middle class family, and you know, we have to manage. We don't have our house here, we don't have our farm here, so nothing is free, everything we have to earn. At the same time, you're young, you can put a lot of more effort, you know, right now. So yeah, so get into it, you know, get these things done. Yes, if fundamentally, if you guys not getting it, feel free to ask me questions. I would love to again go through these things and, you know, explain you again. Most of the things I want you to learn by yourself. You know, I'm just a guide here who wants you to take there and make it happen. You know, why not? But that commitment, that passion has to be there. Okay. So, and I understand your struggle because I've been there.
Got it, sir.
I totally been there. So yeah, you have class, you have some work to do, you know, and totally get it, because, you know, we don't our parents doesn't make dollars, and we have to spend in dollars. So we all struggle with those situations, but get into it, make it happen. Okay, manage
Yeah.
your time, yeah, somehow.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So again, let's go to the class now. Today, we're going to study about discrepancy management. We have 3 more class left, and we have homework due, which is IQ, OQ, PQ, completed, reviewed, and then after execution. So you guys are falling a little behind. My plan was to get you guys in market mostly, you know, mid-October, but if you finish your homework, all of you, but if you fall too much behind, then we have to lag it or push it a little bit more. And it's always that, you know, few of the students in class, they finish and they finish it in time, so they want to move ahead. I cannot hold the class for everybody, you know, so you have to catch up. You have to respect your team, that you don't pull your team down. Sometimes people ask me, sir, I heard, you know, you have a 7 or 8 classes, but it takes 10 classes or 12 classes. And unfortunately, you know, sometimes it happens. So it depends on the class, how much time and how much effort and how much passion you have to get things done. And of course, it doesn't, you know, end here, or, you know, always you can come and repeat the class. That's not a problem if you fall behind, but I have to take class to next level, and that's what I'm going to do. And if you fall too much behind, then you're going to feel lack of confidence again, that you're falling behind. So you have to catch up. Okay. And if you have any issues, problems, talk to me. Maybe I can find you some help. You know, maybe your assistant teacher, I can involve them a little bit more, so they can help you guys out. So there is all the tools for you to get into it, you know. So utilize those tools, you know, for your own growth. And unless you talk to me, I don't know where you at, why you are not up to your homework, why you are falling behind, all those things. Some people may have personal issues, personal problems, and totally get it. Hey, this world is not all green. People have challenges, you know, in personal life, especially when I talk about female. I appreciate, you know, because they have more challenges than for us as a man, and they are competing, you know. So hats off to the female who is, managing. Some of them are mother, wife, and they have to play so many roles. And then they are competing with men, doing so much work. So, they are, a lot of respect for them, because they have, think from your perspective, they have more challenges than us. We as a Nepalese man always think, okay, wife will take care of this, wife will take care of that. and female has to take all of those burden plus, competing. So why can't we do this? So very important things in life to succeed and go ahead and go forward. Those disciplines, those commitments, those passion has to be there. Desire has to be there strong, that I want to do it, I can do it, I'm gonna do it. These are the words you have to speak to yourself. I can do it. These are the words which gonna give you the strength and a lot of confidence in you. So early morning you wake up, and if you feel like, even today, 20 years I've been in this industry, sometimes I get into the work where it feels like hard, and how I handle it, just wake up in the morning, I say, Dhruv, you can do it, and I'm gonna do it, and it happens. So that's how you have to motivate yourself. It calls self-hypnosis. Use that self-hypnosis power, that I'm going to do it, I can do it. Self-hypnosis is a miracle thing. If you believe in anything, it happens. Trust me. So first believe in yourself, and that's when it's going to take you to next level. So any other thought, any other thing you guys want to share? Maybe I'm being too much Babaji or lecture you guys. But I want you to get motivated and get into it.
No, it's not about being Babaji or saying personal thing or something, but as you said, each one of us have our own unique problem we are going through.
Totally, I get that. Yes. Yes.
So the thing I was waiting for this thing for almost 8-9 months. I came in February from Nepal after 1 year, and this thing came up. So there was no option. I had to go through some kind of training, whatever they asked me to go through, and that was giving me some cushion into my financial end also.
Yes.
So that was the very reason I accepted that. But that is not going to happen. It looks like in another 5 weeks or 4 weeks. 1 week is already gone. So another 4 weeks, I'll still be within their watch or their training. And then if they decide, I'll be going with 4 a.m. to 12 noon kind of schedule.
Sure. No problem.
So that is bothering me to.
No, don't be worried about those things. Those situations comes, and again, if somebody have those issues, you can always repeat the class. There is nothing to stop. I'm starting new class on 3rd of October. So if anybody is falling behind, no problem. Feel free to start from beginning again. And I'm fine. There is no extra cost for that or anything. It's just, it's fine. You fall behind in this class, get into next class and get it done. It's your career and long career. So it doesn't really matter, months, 2 months extra, because you fall behind for so many personal reasons and all those. And I totally get that. No issue about it. But if you can, I have to push you a little bit, that make it happen now. This is the good time. So, okay. So let's go to the class workshop today. Today, we're gonna understand and study about discrepancy management. Can anybody tell me what is discrepancy management? What is discrepancy?
Whatever we talk about today's class, not submitting homework or not participating in the review classes. That is discrepancy.
That's correct. Shakushalji, yes. Very good example. Anybody else wants to say for more like a execution perspective or
Like an issue with the system or an issue with the steps or like something's missing, like an issue with the test cases.
that's correct.
I couldn't get it out.
That's correct, Smarty.
Any differences between test cases?
That's correct. All of these are correct. It's just different way to saying it.
So I will say the deviation between the observed and the expected results.
Very good, Milanji. Very good. Very good. Yes,
Thank you, sir.
totally. Yes. Sonika, you wanted to say something? Go ahead. Didn't hear from you today.
Yeah, I was about to say the way Milan said, I think I agree with him. He
Okay.
said the right way, I think.
Okay. I mean, all the men likes quiet women who don't talk, but in this class, I want you guys to talk. Am I right, Avazji?
Sir, I like tomboys.
Okay. All right. So yeah, discrepancy is something. So you guys are writing test cases, test script, and test steps. In test steps, you're writing step instruction and then expected result. And then your tester will be writing or executing actual result and pass and fail. So what if it doesn't pass? What if it's not executable? What is the steps you wrote is not right? And even if it's right, it's not exactly, the observed result is not exactly like expected result. And in those situations, we call it discrepancy, or some company calls it bugs, some company calls it deviation. There are various words have been used company by company. But here, just think it as a discrepancy and I'll explain you further how it works. Okay, so when discrepancy, so learning objective today is understanding what a potential discrepancy, understanding what having a discrepancy means, understanding what to do when a potential discrepancy encountered, how to problem solve to find the root cause of the discrepancy or of the problem, understand what to include when investigating the root cause, impact, and corrective actions. So all these words you guys gonna understand. And then communicating effectively with QA. So there are various things involved here in your objective today. Understanding first, what is discrepancy? How does it happen? When does it happen? If it does happen, then what do we need to do? What is that means? And if that happens, what is the process? It's just, you cannot just fail and move on, because there is a way in regulated industry. There are certain things you have to do if it fails, or if it's not right, if it's not executable. All those things are done in a proper way. So there are engineering discipline where it's done differently, but in regulated industry, it's done differently. And you have to understand how it is done in a regulated industry. So that's what we're going to study today. Any question, any concern, anything you want to add, feel free. Always get involved, get thinking, get it into your mind. All of the things you're studying, get it in your mind. Keep on thinking about it. Thinking is your mantra. More you think, more you're going to get it. Am I right? So remember what I said, jantra, mantra, tantra. Jantra is your tools. You have a computer, you have Zoom, you have pen and paper, you have Microsoft Word. All these things are your jantra. It's a tool. And then it's a mantra. You have to think about it. Whatever you're studying, you have to think.
Sir, look,
Yes.
this is what I keep. I don't know if you can see it. It says Jantra Mantra Tantra. I keep that on my computer.
Exactly.
I keep it
See?
right here.
Yeah, white girl is learning about jantra, mantra, and tantra. So we need more mantra here. We have to think about these things. Use your brain, and brain is a good tool. If you start using it, you're not gonna lose it. There was a time when I was studying in my intermediate, and one day I woke up and I say, if I use so much of my mind, what if I will lose all my mind one day? That's how I was thinking. So I told my teacher, and he said, don't be worried. You're never going to lose by using it. You have more than enough stored. You can keep on using more and more and more and more. And that's when he gave me example that, Newton might have used 30% of his brain, given, gifted by God. So we all have given, gifted by God, a lot of brain, and we might be using only 5% of it. What about 95% of our brain is not have been used yet? So let's start using it. We have all the tools, we have all the tricks of the world in our brain, and it's a very, very good, powerful tool. So master has to recognize the tool and start using it. Once you start using it, it will get into the pattern. So these are the things we're going to pay attention today again, okay? Today's agenda is discrepancy definition. Is it discrepancy? The discrepancy process. What is the discrepancy process? Is it a discrepancy? First, we have to recognize discrepancy definition. What is the definition of discrepancy? What is discrepancy? So most of you said it, but I again wants to repeat it. Observed test result do not match expected result. That is discrepancy. So your observed result in your test script, if it doesn't match with expected result, that is the first discrepancy. You're going to have to fail it because it's not, matching. It has to match exactly the same as it is written in expected result. Am I right? That's what we understood. The test cannot be completed as written. So your test, the way you are writing your test, maybe it's not, you assume sometimes when you're writing that, there are things which is understood, but when other gonna read your test step and execute, maybe it's not executable. So you have to think about it. If somebody gonna execute, he needs to understand what you even assume in your brain. If it's not written there, you cannot just assume that the tester needs to know what is that you have in your brain. So you have to put it in a word there as a steps, what they need to do exactly. And if it's not written there exactly, then they're gonna lose the, the things to do. So that can be discrepancy. The system does not perform as specified by the test. So as specified by the test, system doesn't perform exactly the same. That is your discrepancy. Am I right? Because it's not working. That's when the problem is. Any other unexpected conditions arise that may impact the performance or result of validation activities is discrepancies. So for example, your TEP, in your TEP you missed, you didn't say that I need a weighing machine and then later you're saying I need to wait. So the tester are gonna think, okay, where is my weighing machine? I didn't bring it. It was not written in a test execution preparation. And it has to be calibrated. So all those things needs to be thought through before you create your test cases. Am I right? So if you didn't put it there, that can be another discrepancy, because your tester who's going to execute your test protocol needs to know that they need to get first a weighing machine, and that has to be calibrated in order to execute this test case. Am I right? Are you guys understanding me clearly? Any confusion? I mean, tell me, then I can explain you even in Nepali. I don't care about Krista. She have to learn Nepali. But you guys have to get it, understand it. Understanding is very important. Okay. Can I move ahead?
Yes.
Okay. Arjun sir, is everything clear in your mind?
Yes, it is easier than other chapters.
That's correct. No, whatever chapter is not easier, I'll make it easier. You have to just raise your hand.
Okay.
Okay, always. I'll make it easier. That's my job. Let me do that. Otherwise, I will not do good job if I cannot explain things to you. So I'll explain you in Nepali or, in my mother tongue, Mathli, if I need to, if you understand. I don't speak Avazi, I don't speak, I know a few words of Nevari language, like a Deva Maru or, some words. But I can explain differently if you guys ask me the question. That's my job, to make it understandable, so feel free to stop me. This is what we are. I remember I told you in the beginning that this is interactive class. If you're not going to interact, it's not going to work. It's not going to help you. So feel free. I don't get mad if you ask question. Trust me. I like it, that somebody is thinking. So before we go, so these are, you understand that these are discrepancy, but what is not discrepancy? That also you need to understand. And then that is errors that are self-explanatory, like typographical, spelling, grammar mistakes. Usually you don't do that. Always you create your document and check grammar, spelling all the time. But if it happens by mistake, it's not a discrepancy. You can correct it even in your protocol. That do not change the original intent, objective of testing, and or the outcome of the test. So grammar sometimes, or one minor spelling mistake, which is not going to change the outcome, that cannot be discrepancy. So understand that these questions they may ask you even in your interview. So you need to understand these questions by your heart. You should be able to speak what is not discrepancy, and then you should be able to say simple typographical errors that do not impact the parameters, specifications, or acceptance criteria. Understand these language, use these language. When you speak the language of validation. That means you have to say that, hey, simple typographical errors that do not impact parameters, specifications. Specifications means your URS, FRS, DS, CS, all those specifications. User requirement specification, functional requirement specification, design specifications, configuration specifications. There are 4 specifications. If it doesn't impact any of those specifications, that is not a discrepancy. So remember that. Or acceptance criteria, that is when you write in your test case, remember acceptance criteria. That is what? That is your specification again. So if it doesn't impact any of those, that means it's not a discrepancy. Errors due to protocol generation that can be corrected in the protocol with supporting reference of approved lifecycle documents, example URS, FSDS. So there might be some error while you generating your protocol. Usually don't do that. Try not to do that. Make sure before you send your document, read through each and every line, word by word, understand it, what you are sending, what you are writing. Remember, I told you, these documents, what you are doing will be archived for next 30 years for their record, company's record. These are legally binding documents. It can be presented in the court of law. So think about what you are doing. So that's very important. Just don't do it because you have to do it. You have to do it because you know what you are doing. Okay, so it's a very, very important. Still, if some error comes, you can correct it. A comment can be used to correct the above errors. So all these errors comes, this is not discrepancy, and you can correct it with the comment itself. What does having discrepancy mean? Discrepancy occurrence are normal, probable, commonplaces. So it happens. It's very normal. We are human. We are not robot. We are not machine. Even machine does it. We are human, and it's very normal. So don't be worried about it. Try to avoid as much as you can, but even in real world, it's gonna happen. It's bound to happen. In fact, if there is no discrepancy, the auditor doubts that it's not human. It has to be. Some errors, some discrepancy has to happen. And that's very normal. That's what you need to understand. Discrepancy demonstrates that testing is finding bugs and system issues. And sometimes it's a good thing, in fact, that you find a discrepancy. That means you are a good tester. You tested it right. So you found a discrepancy. Am I right? Usually in our life, we try to find problem with others, not with ourselves. Here, we have to find the problem with the system. Still not with ourselves, but if you find the problem with the system, that means you are paying attention. You're a good tester, and it's a good thing. It's not negative thing. Not end of the world. It's not end of the world. Of course, more you find, it's more work, but that's our business. That's our bread and butter. More we find means, hey, we have more work to do, and that's a good thing. Okay. All right, let's see what is discrepancy, what is not discrepancy. Okay. So in test step here, it says open experiment number 1 in TEP6, test execution preparation 6. Here, the tester came and there is no TEP6. There is only 1, 2, 3, 4, only 4 TEP. Am I right? So what happened? When you were writing the test script, by mistake, you wrote TEP6. You're supposed to write TEP4. Am I right? Can somebody tell me, is it a discrepancy?
No.
Not really.
And why?
Because it clearly shows that there is no other number in it, and experiments are only in 4, I think. There's
Very
no other
good.
place that there's experiment
Very
number
good,
in it.
Smarty. You're thinking, girl. Anybody else? Good job, Sonika.
I think it's a typographical error and it can be corrected.
Why it seems like all these girls are smarter than boys? Am I seeing something wrong? Come on, good job. The thing is why I ask you guys a question. So you can repeat, you can speak. When you speak, it's your mantra. Remember, you're speaking about it. That becomes your mantra. Now Krista got it. What is mantra means? It's an Eastern philosophy and it works.
He cannot
does.
do that.
Okay, Krishna, it does.
It's embedded like into me now.
I know, it's a mantra. So I want you guys to speak up. Speak up means you are doing mantra. So good job, Samiksha. Good job, Sonika. Anybody else from guys?
Where is a footnote here explaining that? They were saying we need to have some kind of footnote there or explanation
What?
there.
Yeah, you can call Mama too. Come here. Can you say hello to my friends?
Hi.
Come here. Come here. Can you
You
say
gotta
hello?
come say hi.
Oh, he
He
feels
left.
he feels shy. Krista knows him. Yeah.
He's such the sweetest boy.
I know he's my baby boy.
He's teacher in training.
Yeah. All right. So Ravi sir, sorry I missed it because my son
No.
interrupted me. So
No, what I mean is there is no footnote or explanation there somewhere saying that it has to be this, not this, or not this. Is there somewhere I can see? Maybe
no,
I
so
missed-
it's just an example right now that
Okay.
and then we're gonna
Okay.
talk about it. So does anybody think it's a discrepancy?
Yes,
Why, Durgaji? Tell me.
because it says TEP6, but like somebody said, we have 4 TEP. It could be any of those 4 steps, right? Like it says navigate to analytical equipment section, but on 4, it says analytical author, not the equipment.
See, somebody is thinking. That's what I wanted you guys to speak up. So the thing is, 2 things. First, this is in a step section. So a step section, if it would be same thing in expected result, then it would become discrepancy. But since it's in a step instruction, it can be typo. Okay, because we can go and fix it. Now, another thing is, the tester needs to know this and who can tell him whether it's a TP1, 2, 3, 4, as DC said. And you're right in that matter. So author has to come and say, hey, this is typo, it's supposed to be TP4, not TP6. But it is obvious, and remember what we said, that it not gonna change the outcome, or if we fix it, it's not affecting our specs or outcome of our expected result. So right now we can fix it as a typo. Okay, so let me explain you guys first thing. So once you are done with your protocol, which you are writing, IQ, OQ, PQ, that protocol goes through review and approval, various cycle of review and approval. Once it's approved and it's a version control, so version 1, now you cannot just go and change it. It's recorded. Am I right? Any problem happens, now you have to fix it differently. Either it becomes discrepancy or typo. That's what we are trying to recognize. Do you understand the context here? Can anybody tell me the context? Repeat it, somebody.
So if it is a typo, which is going to be like in your steps, that's going to be like, that's easy to fix. But if it's a expected result, that's something that you can't change, then it would be a discrepancy.
That's
right?
correct. That's correct.
Because you can't, like, once it's, you can't do that, especially an expected result. You can't, like, it's like a big no-no. Because that's your expected result, right?
When did you turn out to be smarter like us?
I've been studying. Are you
Yeah,
kidding?
Now you better paint yourself to be a brown.
I'll get a tan soon.
Or you know what those white girls does? They go to the they goes to that one thing, what they call
Tan
it.
and salon.
Yeah.
I can just get a spray tan. It's healthier.
Yeah. Get tinted. Okay. So yeah, DC, it can be typo because the reason it is in step instruction. If it would be in expected result, you're right. Then it would be a discrepancy. Same thing here when you execute here, it says full name of the author, full name of reviewer, author and reviewer. Here, the result comes, it says not the full name, it's just said the half name. So can it be a typo or discrepancy?
I think it can be discrepancy.
And why?
Because the names should be like written, right? Initials name maybe, or
Does anybody agree with Sonisa?
I agree with Sonisa.
All right.
Yes, since it's under a result and observed result, it's a discrepancy.
I see. Boys are agree with Sonisa because she's beautiful. I agree with her too. Oh. Siri is catching my word. So yes, it is a discrepancy because it clearly says that it has to be author's full name here, and it's not coming. So this is clear example of discrepancy. Here it says R4505V1.0. In system it says RXXX V1.0. Can somebody tell me whether it's a discrepancy or typo? And why?
I would say it's a discrepancy, not a typo, because instead of that XXX, you can have any number and it can lead or refer to any other documents or any other text scripts. So I think that's kind of misleading. So I would say, as per my opinion, that's a discrepancy, not a typo.
Very good.
I agree with
See, girls, we have intelligent boys too. Yes, I agree totally. Sorry, when I make some jokes, I don't need to disrespect anybody, please. If it does, forgive me for that. I just want you guys to take it easy. Don't get too serious, okay? So yes, it is a discrepancy, and because it can be filled with any other numbers, and it has to be a specific number 4505 only. So that's why, as Avaz said, and he said it totally right. So you understand. So this is discrepancy. Now somebody can tell me here, instrument type is pH meter, and they need to take a balance here, whether it's a discrepancy or it's a typo. Someone?
I believe it's a discrepancy because the tool itself is, it's not about saying pH meter or something. We need their imbalance here. They need pH meter. The
That's
tool
correct.
itself is, yeah. Tool
Very
itself is wrong.
smart. Very good, Ravi sir. So with pH meter, you cannot take balance.
Yep.
pH meter is used for something else. So this is a discrepancy.
To measure the soil, whatever.
pH basically measures your acidity.
What's that?
Acidity, soil acidity or whatever. Yeah.
The acidity or the basic. I have a quick question. Like this is under a step, right? Remember how you said it earlier that you can actually contact the author and
Yes.
tell them to fix it?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that bring it back to your fixable error?
Yeah, if it's a typo, then author can fix it. But if it's a discrepancy, because
Uh-huh.
it's already executed, you see, he already wrote
Oh.
pH meter.
Okay,
That's why it's a
already
discrepancy.
executed. So number 7 is not on step, right?
Yeah, it
Alright,
is.
okay.
It is in a step, but it's executed step.
Okay.
Okay. So that's why it's a discrepancy. So understand those things.
Was that
Here-
the right observation I made?
Yes, very
Okay,
good, Ravi
thank
sir.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
Another example in here, in your step, you say 3 bullet points. And here in your system, in the drop-down menu, in your system, it's not. Is it discrepancy or it's a typo? What will you consider?
Dhruv, so you have 3 points on the drop down too.
Yeah,
So you have 3 bullets on the left and you have 3 bullets on the right, right? So what are we like kind of comparing with?
so very good question. So now it has to match exactly
So the word by
you.
word, okay.
word by word in the system. So
I think
whatever,
it's the
whatever you have in a specification has to reflect in your system. Am I right?
Yeah, so it's like, because you're given directions on how to do it and test it. I would think it's a discrepancy.
Very good. I want to hear from more people. Ishwarji, what do you think? Sandeshji, Milanji, Resamji, speak up. I want your involvement here.
I would go with discrepancy too, sir.
Rosil, are you okay?
Yeah, I would go with discrepancy.
And region?
I agree with Krista, and it's not clear enough. As
Okay.
the instructions on the steps and the one that appears, that actually appears.
In the system,
So, yeah.
yes, yes, very good. So it doesn't match exactly the same, so it's a clear discrepancy.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, this one. It says here, SDC page reduced. Band pattern is comparable to. Tell me whether it is discrepancy or typo.
I would say it's a typo because it matches, but it's incomplete, the statements.
Okay. Does anybody disagree with Abbas?
No, I agree with him. Yeah, it could be typo looks like.
It's comparable to what? I guess in this situation, you have to again contact the author and see what they meant. But it's under step instruction, so it's fixable.
Yeah, so sorry Abbas, in this one, I agree with Durgaji. So certificate of analysis has to match exactly the same. Remember what I said in a report and an analysis report, especially word by word. You know, if it's a 0, it has to be 0 in the system. So if it doesn't match exactly the same, and you know, even if it's reduced, it's right, but it's ambiguous. So it can be considered as a discrepancy.
Can you repeat one more time for the discrepancy? Why is that? Because it's incomplete, or what is that? Or we can't find the whole answer or the script?
That's correct. So, you know, especially when you have reports or
Right.
analysis reports, you cannot be ambiguous. You have to be specific always. You cannot be high level. You understand? So everything has to match exactly the same and word by word, specific. Chinese meal, remember? Broken into pieces. So you cannot just reduce the whole thing. You have to have all those things specific into the report. And that's why it can be considered as a discrepancy.
So it is discrepancy because it doesn't have like band pattern is comparable to something. It is not specific. That's why, right?
That's right.
Okay.
So those are, let me go
Yes.
back to the first example where like, it was referring to, I think the test 6, but we only had 4.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be ambiguous too? Even though the content matched, but like, you can have the same content for 2 script, but we didn't have the number clearly mentioned that out, but wouldn't that be ambiguous too then for the people who are executing the test?
Very good question. Very, very good question. So, so first, understand the context. So that was only TEP, test execution preparation, not the system, not the report, not the result.
Okay.
It was about using which TEP needs to be used.
Okay.
Okay. So that is still on your step instruction level, not up to the outcome level.
Okay.
See the point?
Yes.
So
that's-
there you can fix it because you are just starting and you don't have TP6. So the tester gonna ask the question, hey, I don't have TP6. Why are you telling me TP6? Where is TP6? So that's only step level. So author can say, hey, it's a typo, it's by mistake, use TP4 instead of TP6. But you didn't go to the outcome. You're still up to the step level, instruction level, step instruction level. You are just doing it, not the result. But here you have result. Here you have outcome. Yeah.
So are you saying that the example that we are seeing over here right now, which is STS page, comma reduced, the band pattern is comparable to, like, are you talking about the sentence that's not specific? That's why, like.
That's correct.
Okay.
It has to be a specific, yes.
Okay, it's a sentence that.
You
okay,
cannot,
so
yeah,
it's
you
like-
cannot
yeah,
cut it in
doesn't-
half. Yeah.
Okay, it's not giving a proper meaning. Okay,
It doesn't give you proper meaning.
okay, okay.
Even though it might, complete with ...
Mhm.
but we don't know what is ... Am I right?
Okay.
So in your in your reports or in your analysis, it has to be specific, clear. It cannot be ambiguous. And it is a report. It's an outcome. It's not a step level.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, and could you please zoom in a little more?
Yes. Avazji, does it make sense?
I think so, yeah. I'm like, we can go with the few others to see, like, to find the consistency, then I will get it. But
Sure.
right now we're doing just one example, so I think so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No
I
problem.
think plus group, sir, is like this is the certificate of analysis. So the main thing is here. This is already the expected result. So anything wrong goes here. So that will be a big issue.
That's correct. You're right on point. That is the point. That this is not on a step level. This is on your report level. And report level, it's a half sentence.
That'll be a different version, right? If they have to go through it again and.
That's correct. So that means this is a configuration issue. It's a system issue. They have to go and fix the system. This is not a simple mistake.
Tulsa, just one basic question. I'll go back to what you started. You said, it can be either discrepancy or typo, right? So my question is, you mentioned that once the document is approved and it will be stored for under 20 or 30 years, whatever it is, right? So you can't go back and change that, right?
You can, but you have to revise it.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, like, you can't change the original content. You'll
Yeah, you
have
can change
2.0
the
or
original content.
3.0.
Yeah, yeah.
So we are changing just the typo, discrepancy, or both on the revised content?
Not the discrepancy, the typo. Discrepancy becomes another cycle. That's where we're gonna get in a bit. But typo, you can go and fix it because it's a typo. You can cross out initial and date, remember, and explain what is typo, what happened there. But in discrepancy, you cannot just go and fix it there. You have to create a discrepancy form. That's where we're gonna get there. So first we are determining, giving you some examples, what can be the typo and what can be the discrepancy. That's what we are talking.
A quick question on that, like typo and discrepancy, they both come under a revision. Even when fixing a typo, do we have to make a revision history?
No,
okay.
Not the typo, not the typo.
Just a discrepancy.
Yeah, that's on your executed copy. Remember, so every document you have effective document, which is reviewed and approved. So a version 1, okay? Now you're gonna take that version 1 and you're gonna execute it. So in execution, you can fix the typo there. And it still stays the same version. But if you have many typos or many issues, then you might have to go and revise that document in version 2. So version 1 is no more effective. Version 2 is effective. So when you go to execute, you have to take version 2. Remember what I said when I was reviewing your document, IQ, OQ. So change the version, so you wrote first version. Once I gave you comment, now whatever you're changing in your document, make it version 2. Am I right? That's how it works in a real world. So I wanted you guys to follow that thing so you understand how those things works. These documents are recorded. You cannot just go and change anything. Just as long as it's a draft, you can go and change anything. Once it's reviewed and approved, it becomes your official document. Now you cannot go and change it. It becomes PDF. It becomes non-editable. So now in order to edit it, you have to revise it. Understood?
So what you mean is even typo in final document is considered as discrepancy?
No. Typo is not discrepancy. That's what we are talking about.
Even in final document?
Even in a final document. So
Okay.
typo, you
Got
can
it.
correct it
Got it.
while executing. Yeah. But discrepancy, you cannot just go and correct it. You have to fill up a form. When it's a discrepancy, then you have to fill up a form. It has to go through certain cycle, certain process. But as long as it's a typo, you can go and correct it, initial and date it. You can tell who fixed that typo and why. And why you think it's a typo.
And that's like where you would write your comments on the side or below or wherever you
That's
have written.
correct. That's
Initial
correct.
date. That
Yes.
makes it legit.
Yes, that makes it legit. Yes, that's right. Any question, concern, Resamji, can you relate everything? Any confusion here?
No, absolutely, I'm understanding. You're explaining very clearly.
Okay.
I'm getting that. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thanks for your
no
concern.
problem. No problem. Avinash-ji, any confusion here?
No, sir, I'm clear.
Okay, okay, yeah. If you're not clear, just speak up. I don't bite.
I have a little bit, maybe not relevant question.
Please.
This should be like the algorithm system. For example, if you make some discrepancies, it means some error, it's go back and fix it and come back. Algorithm, right? We have to go through. That's the way we have to fix, go back and come with the corrected one. That doesn't work in this system.
It does, but then you have to create a discrepancy. You cannot go and fix it as a typo.
Oh, okay.
You understand? So now you have to create a discrepancy form, and then it has to go through root cause analysis. It has to go through corrective action. So any discrepancy is a new cycle. It's a new documentation. And typo, you can fix it then and there in your protocol.
Okay.
You see how it works? Yeah. Okay. Very good. Very good. Anything else? Milanji, whom you texting? You have a girlfriend?
I have a wife. She will kill me.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm understanding, sir. Thank you.
No
Thank you.
problem. No problem. Yeah. Okay. So, hey, you're not the only one. We all are scared of wife.
You should be.
Can we take a break?
Okay, let's take a break. I had a student, a girl student. One night she texted me around 12:30. My wife asked me next day question, oh, why she texted you at 12:30 at night? I said, I don't know why she texted at 12:30 at night. No, it's something going on.
You should tell her you are asking for a break.
I know. I had to give all the explanation that, hey, honey, don't be worried. She might be in that mood and, she might be thinking at that time of the night. So she just out of curiosity, she might have texted me about the question. It has not any other intention, but, wife is wife always. They doubt you.
Is it time for the break now?
Yes, let's take a little break. Yeah.
Eva sir.
Ajur.
I'm just trying to मैले खासमा जुन रविजीले भन्नुभयो नि
हजुर
जस्तै कि अब स्टेप यदि टाइपो मिस्टेक्स छ भने
हजुर
अनि अब के गरे त्यो पत्ता लागेन हैन अनि अब त्यो फाइनल डकुमेन्ट सर्टिफिकेट अफ एनालिसिस मात्र गएर पत्ता लाग्यो भने
हजुर
त्यसलाई डिस्क्रिपेन्सी मान्दैन आई मिन लाइक त्यसलाई फेरि अर्को डकुमेन्ट क्रिएट गर्नु पर्दैन त्यसलाई सिम्पली इनिशियल र साइन मात्र गरेर हामी चेन्ज गर्न सक्छौं
रिपोर्टमा होइन स्टेप्समा मात्रै
हजुर
हजुर रिपोर्टमा यदि प्रब्लम छ भने हामीले डिस्क्रिपेन्सी लेख्नै पर्छ
रिपोर्टमा मात्र हैन
फाइनलमा छ भने आउटकममा छ भने एक्जिक्युटेडमा छ भने हामीले डिस्क्रिपेन्सी लेख्नु पर्छ यदि
इभन टाइपो मात्र भए पनि डिस्क्रिपेन्सी लेख्नु पर्छ
टाइपो मात्रै भए पनि हजुर तर स्टेप्स इन्स्ट्रक्सनको बेला यदि भयो भने very good question. Can you repeat this question when everybody comes back? Sorry. Sorry, right? I want everybody to hear. सबैलाई सुन्न दिनुपर्छ है धेरै राम्रो क्वेशन सोध्नु भएको छ अर्जुन सर अरु सबै ठीक हैन हजुरसँग त कुरा गर्न एकदम रमाइलो लाग्छ हजुर आउनुस् न एक दिन यसो
हैन सर अब मैले अलिकति सरसँग कुरै गर्नुपर्ने रमाइलो लागेको छ के मलाई अलि मोटिभेसन पार्ट त छँदैछ सरको है
हजुर हजुर
त्यो पढाउँदाखेरि चाहिँ जो जिस्केर गर्नुहुन्छ नि त्यो चाहिँ सरलाई कहिले काहीँ कन्फ्युज लाग्दो रहेछ बढी बोल्ने कि भनेर तर यसलाई क्लासलाई चाहिँ अलिक फन बनायो भने लर्निङ प्रोसेसमा अलिक सजिलै हुन्छ ठिकै हो त्यो सरले गरे है
थ्यांक यू
पर्सनल आर्को सरले त्यो नेभी सङ्घको प्रसङ्ग निकाल्नु भयो त्यसले गर्दा नि अलिकति कम्फर्टेबल फिल भयो किन भन्दा मन त्यसमा चलिरहेको पहिलेदेखि अधिवेशन लागेको छ मलाई पनि क्लासै डिस्टर्ब होला जस्तो गरी अधिवेशन लागिरहेछ
त्यही त अहिले हेर्नुस् न पुरा जिल्ला सबै ठाउँमा चुनाव भइरहेछ को बन्ने नयाँ अध्यक्ष यहाँ लडाई चलिरहेछ यता हाम्रो बिमलजी हाम्रो तराईको पनि उहाँले पनि यसपालि आँट गरिराख्नु भएछ धेरै कुरोहरू चलिरहेछ
हैन उहाँले त आँट गर्नै पर्यो अहिले आँट गरेन भने अर्कोचोटि अध्यक्ष पाउँदैन कन्फर्म छ अब त्यो भएर गरेकै हो
कम्तीमा त अब उभिनु त पर्यो हार जित जे होस् हैन त्यो राम्रै हो
हैन लास्टमा त उहाँले खाली बार्गेनिङ चाहिँ अर्कोचोटि अध्यक्ष चाहिँ कन्फर्म हुन खोजे मात्रै हो नि
हजुर हजुर
हाम्रो रामचन्द्र झाजी चाहिँ हाम्रो ध्रुव सरको के आफन्त त पर्नु हुँदैन
रामचन्द्र झा हैन कम्युनिस्ट वाला पढ्नुहुन्न त्यस्तो अलिकति घुमाएर त सबै रिलेटिभ पढिहाल्छ तर डाइरेक्टै पढ्नुहुन्न
हजुर हजुर ए
हजुर
उहाँको जिल्ला त एउटै हैन हजुरको एउटै जिल्ला हजुर जनकपुरबाट
हैन धनसामै हो उहाँ पनि हामी पनि धनसामै हजुर हजुर हेर्नुस् न अब उता कोइरालाजी पनि भनिराख्नु भएको छ उता देउपाजी छोड्न चाहनुहुन्न अझै पनि उहाँ त अब छोडे हुन्थ्यो 4-5 चोटि प्राइम मिनिस्टर पनि बनिहाल्नु भयो अब अन्त त हुँदैन यो कुरोको
होइन यो त ठुलो यो त वास्तवमै अब जब गिरिजाबाउ हुने बेलामा देउबाजी चाहिँ नि युवा हुँ म यो चाहिँ यो देउबा के अरे कोइरालाबाट चाहिँ यो फ्यामिली उसमा जानु हुँदैन यो एउटा फ्यामिली कोइरालाबाट हुँदा अर्को उसमा जानुपर्छ आगा हुन् अब आफै कोइरालाबाट निकाल्न थालेको छ यो कुरो यो छोडिदियो सर अर्को कुरो यो जस्तो इन्टरभ्यूहरूमा तपाईँको यो
हजुर
के छ रियल टाइम इक्जाम्पलहरू ल यस्तो यस्तो केसमा कसरी फेस गर्छ जस्तो फर इक्जाम्पल
सोध्न सक्छ
एउटा जस्तो कि फर इक्जाम्पल ओके एचपिएलसी एउटा मेसिन छ नि सर एचपिएलसी के भन्छ त्यसलाई
एचपिएलसी हजुर
एचपिएलसी मेसिनमा चाहिँ कसरी टेस्ट लेख्छौ भन्नेलाई जस्ट हाइपोथेटिकल क्वेसन अनि यस्तो खालको कस्तो खालको इन्टरभ्यूहरुमा कस्तो
यदि तपाई आफ्नो रेज्युमेमा यदि लेख्नु भएछ कि म एचपिएलसी लाई भ्यालिडेसन गरेको हो भने उनीहरुले सोध्न सक्छ कि कस्तो किसिमको टेस्टहरु लेख्नुभयो त्यो सबै कुरो हामी तयारी गराउँछौं तपाईहरुलाई
हजुर हजुर
त्यो पहिला एउटा सिस्टमको भ्यालिडेसन गर्न बुझ्नुस् एउटा सिस्टम तपाईले भ्यालिडेसन गर्न बुझिहाल्नुभयो भने दुनियाको कुनै पनि सिस्टम उस्तै हो नानी खाली त्यसको फंक्सनालिटी फरक हुन्छ बाँकी प्रोसेस सेमै हुन्छ त्यो सबै कुरो हामी गरौँला इन्टरभ्यु प्रिपरेसन क्लासमा कसरी डिफेन्ड गर्ने कसरी आन्सर गर्ने त्यो कुरोहरु हाम्रो नेक्स्ट फेज हुन्छ यो पहिला फेज हो एउटा सिस्टमलाई कसरी भ्यालिडेसन गर्ने त्यो सबै कुरो बुझिहाल हैन
हो एब्सोल्युटली अनि यसमा त मलाई त त्यस्तो हैन अब कस्तो छ म यो लेखाइ रिटर्न चाहिँ मेरो अलिकति स्पिड पनि कम छ मैले गरि पनि राछु
बानी पनि
च्यालेन्ज भनेको यो
हजुर हो फर्मेटिङहरु त्यो गर्नै छ बुझ्न त बुझिराख्नु भएको छ हैन
पर्फेक्ट बुझेमा त म त यस्तो असाध्यै यसमा तपाईको यति सजिलो समय लाग्छ कि मैले अब यो बुझ्ने कुराहरु त छ नि कन्फ्युजन भने एकदम कम छ के यसमा पनि खासै देखे त खासै त्यस्तो केही छैन हैन अब यसमा चाहिँ हो यसलाई चाहिँ रियल वर्ल्डमा
म त्यही भन्छु नो डिसरेस्पेक्ट टु एनीबडी म भनिरहेछु यो 12th ग्रेडर पनि गर्न सक्छ यो भ्यालिडेसनको काम
एब्सोल्युटली यसमा त तपाईको कुनै एउटा
पहिला चोटी त सबैलाई गाह्रो जस्तो लाग्छ तर बिस्तारै हेर्नुस् र म जुन पढाइरहेछु म एक्स्ट्रा पढाइरहेछु म इमिडिएट तपाईको खाली एउटा कामको लागि पढाइरहेछु तपाई गएर काममा भोलि 1,30,000 1,40,000 कमाउनु हुन्छ खाली एउटा डकुमेन्ट ओक्यू मात्रै गर्नुपर्छ लेख्नुपर्छ र एक्सिक्युट गर्नुपर्छ म त पुरा साइकल पढाइरहेछु तपाईहरुको क्यारियरको लागि त्यही भएर अलिकति ओभरवेल्म जस्तो लाग्छ होला धेरै इन्फर्मेसन भयो 2 महिना भित्रमा यति कुरो ग्रास्प गर्नु नयाँ कुरो अलिकति अनकम्फर्टेबल जस्तो लाग्छ तर म जानी तपाईलाई सबै इन्फर्मेसन दिन चाहन्छु हैन कि तपाईलाई सबै त्यो डटहरु कनेक्ट हुन्छ हैन बेसिकली
एब्सोल्युटली यसमा चाहिँ सर जस्तो कि यो जो एफडीए का तिनी कोडहरु भए हैन यिनीहरुलाई कतिको चाहिने ख्याल राख्नु हामीलाई जस्तो कि अब हुन सक्छ फर एक्जाम्पल हामीहरु चाहिँ आफुलाई 5-7 वर्ष 4-5 वर्ष काम गरेको प्रेजेन्ट गर्छौं त आफुलाई
हजुर 3-4 वर्ष कम्तीमा त गर्नु पर्छ हजुर
हो एब्सोल्युटली अनि उनीहरुले के एक्सपेक्ट गर्न सक्छ भने चाहिँ यो मान्छे 3-4 वर्ष 4 वर्ष काम गरिसकेका मान्छे रहेछ सो he should know a lot about the 25 CFR 21
त्यो सबै हामी तयारी गराउँछौं हजुर हो हजुर तपाई स्टेप अहेड भइराख्नु भएछ जम्प गरिराख्नु भएछ त्यहाँसम्म अहिले नसोच्नुस् अहिले यहाँ फोकस गर्नुस् अहिले जुन गरिराख्नु भएछ हामीसँग सबै त्यो कनेक्टेड सोल्युसन छ त्यो चिन्ता नगर्नुस् हामी पुगाउँछौं त्यहाँ तपाईलाई तर र हाम्रो के छ भने बाध्यता छ हेर्नुस् बाध्यता के छ भने पहिला त यो इन्डस्ट्री ट्रेन्ड मान्छे लिदैन यिनीहरुलाई एक्सपिरियन्स्ड मान्छे चाहियो किनभने यिनीहरुले के भन्छ भने हामी पैसा दिन तयार छौं हामीले एक्सपिरियन्स्ड मान्छे दियौ हामी ट्रेन्ड मान्छे लिएर फेरि ट्रेनिङ दिने होइन हामीसँग त्यो टाइम छैन पेशेन्स छैन इन्डियन आईटी ले के गर्यो भने उनीहरुले सुरु गर्यो सबैलाई 3 वर्ष 4 वर्ष 5 वर्षको एक्सपिरियन्स हालेर बेच्न सुरु गर्यो अब हामीसँग अप्सन छैन कम्पिट गर्नु छ भने हामीले उसकै त्यो एडप्ट गर्नु पर्यो अब हामीले हालेन फ्रेशर हो एक्सपिरियन्स छैन ट्रेन्ड हो भने तपाईँको रेज्युमे नै पिक हुँदैन।
Oh, you have to sell yourself. Yeah,
You have to sell
absolutely. Yeah.
yourself. त्यही समस्या भएको छ। त्यही भएर
होइन,
हामीले पनि
एकदम।
त्यही उनीहरूकै गेम खेल्नुपर्छ। अब के गर्ने, त्यो बाध्यता हो हाम्रो। तर एकचोटि छिरिसकेपछि कुरो सिद्धिन्छ, त्यही हो।
हो यसमा चाहिँ मैले खासै त्यस्तो चाहिँ मैले CCNA को कोर्स पनि पढेँ हल्का, मैले त्यसमा चाहिँ बरु अलिकता त्यो उहरू चाहिँ कोडहरू हुन्छ त्यो लेख्ने गर्ने बेलामा त्यसमा अलिकता बरु गाह्रो जस्तो लाग्यो मलाई। यसमा त म त खासै के देखिन्न, अलिक बढी नै बोलिहाल्यो जस्तो लाग्छ कहिले
हैन हैन ठीक छ एकदम
कन्सन्ट्रेसन गर्ने त्यस्तो हो। मलाई चाहिँ यो कम्प्युटर टाइपिङहरू यस्तो गर्न चाहिँ अलिकता अब यो मेरो अब यो
त्यो त बानी छुट्नाले गर्दा हो। तर कन्सेप्ट एकचोटि बुझिहाल्नुहुन्छ भने कन्टेक्स्ट बुझ्नुहुन्छ भने यो काम धेरै गाह्रो छैन। यो गुणस्तर चेक गर्ने काम हो। गुणस्तर चेक गर्ने काम हामी त्यो गुणस्तर इन्स्पेक्टर जस्तो भयो के खासै। तर यो पढ्ने बेलामा अलिकति गाह्रो जस्तो लाग्छ। तर एकचोटि तपाईँ यो पुरा साइकल बुझ्नुहुन्छ अनि सजिलो हुँदै जान्छ, बिस्तारै बिस्तारै यो सजिलो हुँदै जान्छ।
राइट
हजुर सर, आई थिंक अब आई डु एग्री विथ रेशम जी हैन। तर अर्को एउटा डर पनि मनमा के भन्दाखेरि जस्तै अब तपाईले अब यो फाइनल डकुमेन्ट हो हैन, लिगल डकुमेन्ट हो हैन, त्यस्तै पर्यो भने यो कोर्टमा पनि यो प्रेजेन्ट हुन सक्छ डकुमेन्ट हैन। अनि त्यसपछि फेरि अब तपाईको हो रेस्पोन्सिबल हुनुपर्छ आफ्नो काममा। तर यो फार्मास्युटिकल कम्पनीमा भएकोले इट्स मोर हुन्छ नि, त्यो एउटा डर हुन्छ नि, एउटा त्यस्तै केही
डर त हुनै पर्छ, अलिकति डर त हुनै पर्छ हामीलाई। किनभने
जस्तो खालको के
हजुर हो, अलिकति डर त हुनै पर्छ। हेर्नुस् तपाईलाई पैसा त्यतिकै कसैले दिन्छ त?
दिदैन।
$10 त दिदैन। तपाईँ एकैचोटि 6 फिगरबाट स्टार्ट गर्ने किन? केही त होला नि हैन? त्यही कुरो हामीले बुझ्नु पर्ने हो। रिस्पोन्सिबिलिटी हो हाम्रो, रिस्पोन्सिबल हामी हुनुपर्छ यसमा हैन। हामीले हेर्नुपर्छ, हामी क्वालिटी चेक गर्छौँ। क्वालिटी चेक गर्ने मान्छे, गुणस्तर चेक गर्ने मान्छे आफ्नो गुणस्तर पहिला सेट गर्नुपर्छ, एउटा स्ट्यान्डर्ड हैन। त्यो कुरा हामीले बुझ्यौँ भने अगाडि जान सजिलो हुन्छ। एकछिन स्टुडेन्टहरू आउनुहुन्छ, त्योभन्दा पहिला एकछिन म हाम्रो गुरु रवि सरसँग कुरो गरिहाल्नु। रवि सर अलिकति प्रकाश पारिदिनु न त्यो अध्यक्षको, नेपाली कांग्रेसको अध्यक्षको
खै अब के भन्ने, अब तपाईँले भनिहाल्नु हो। अब
हजुर
विमल दाईसँग म ठ्याक्क ऱ्यान्डमली आउने बेलामा चाहिँ नि
हजुर
आउनुभयो 3 दिन अगाडि डिसेम्बरमा आएको।
हजुर हजुर
अनि 3 दिन अगाडि चाहिँ नि म डेन्टल अफिसमा
हजुर हजुर हजुर
के काम गरिरहेको थिएँ। दाई पनि त्यहीँ चाहिँ नि आएर
ए हजुर हजुर
अनि बस्नु भएर म भित्रबाट बाहिर निकै उहाँ चाहिँ भित्र पस्नु ठिक्क परेको। अनि दाजुभाइको त्यही भेट भयो त्यही चाहिँ नि। अनि अब कलेजमा भन्दा त अब हामीभन्दा दुई ब्याच मात्रै सिनियर हो।
दुई ब्याच मात्रै सिनियर हजुरहरू हुनुहुन्थ्यो। हजुर हो
दाजुहरू चाहिँ नि विमल दाईहरू चाहिँ नि। तर चाहिँ नि अब हामी चाहिँ 2 ब्याच जुनियर मात्रै हो।
ए 2 ब्याच जुनियर हुनुहुन्छ हजुर।
दाजु भन्दा तर दाजुहरू चाहिँ अब तर के भने अब नयाँ किसिमको एउटा सुरु भएको छ। तर यिनीहरूले अझै चाहिँ साइन्टिफिक हिसाब अस्ति के भन्दै थियो एकजनाले भन्दैथ्यो यहाँ
अहिले त 4 वटा क्यान्डिडेट छ त त्यहाँ
4 जना छन्। तर अब यसको स्टोरी के भन्दाखेरि एकजना यहाँ आइटी गरिरहेको चाहिँ नेपाली कांग्रेसको चाहिँ साथी
हजुर।
अनि ऊ के भन्दै थियो भने म नेपाल तपाईको प्लान के भएर भनेको म नेपाल गएर चाहिँ एकदम नेपाली कांग्रेसलाई चाहिँ एकदम सिस्टमेटिक सबै कुरा यस्तो राम्रो चाहिँ बनाइदिन्छु कि एउटा ल्यापटपमा चाहिँ यसो छोएर माउसमा छोएर चाहिँ नि कहाँबाट के भइरहेको छ भनेर भन्ने कुरा म बनाइदिन्छु भनेर उसले चाहिँ उसको उद्देश्य। अनि मैले उसलाई के भने त्यो तिमीलाई गर्न दिन्छ बाबु अनि भने। अनि उसले भने होइन होइन यो त राम्रो कुराको लागि चाहिँ किन गर्न दिएन, कसले
पोलिटिक्स भनेको घुमाउरो बाटो हो हैन दाजु।
अनि मैले त्यही भने उसको भनाइ चाहिँ बिचरा सोझो मान्छे उसले के भन्नु होइन किन गर्न नदिनु, म त फ्री अफ कस्टमा गर्छु, पार्टीलाई फाइदा नै हुन्छ भने। अब त्यो गर्ने हो भनेदेखि देउबाबुको त्यहाँ के काम भयो त? त्यो नेपालमा मतलब कसैले पनि चाहिँ आफ्नो टाउको माथि नाङ्गो तरबार झुन्ड्याउने चाहिँ अवस्था राख्छ र? नेपाल भनेकै चाहिँ कस्तो भनेदेखि सिस्टम हामीले
धेरै ग्रोथ चाहिन्छ। अहिले धेरै ग्रोथ चाहिन्छ। फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड कन्ट्रीसँग कम्पिट गर्न या फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड कन्ट्रीमा आफ्नो त्यो उपस्थिति जताउनको लागि हामी नेपाली सबैलाई त्यो राइज गर्नुपर्छ, एउटा स्ट्यान्डर्डमा राइज गर्नुपर्छ, त्यो धेरै इम्पोर्टेन्ट कुरो
होइन
असाध्यै इम्पोर्टेन्ट। अहिले तपाईँको अफगानिस्तान चाहिँ नि भएको अफगानिस्तान जस्तै हुने जस्तै एक किसिमले जुन ब्राइबरी छ नि अफगानिस्तानको किन बर्बाद भएको, बिलियन्स अफ डलर खन्या युएसले बिचार अहिले हेर्नुहोस् त हालत होइन। अब त्यो उसमा पावरमा बसेको मान्छे भागिदिएर भने ल भन्नु त सबै ब्राइबरी झन्डै झन्डै अफगानिस्तान जस्तै हो। अलिकति त्यो यो जियो पोलिटिक्स अलिकति ऊ भएर मात्रै, न त नेपालको हालत त लिडरसिपमा यति नराम्रो करप्सन छ, यति नराम्रो छ कि तपाईँको आउँदाखेरि चाहिँ नि के एउटा कोठामा बस्छन्, जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ नि रिटायर हुने बेला रिटायर द पोलिटिसियन त लिँदै हुँदैन, तपाईँको अब मिलियन डलरमा चाहिने पैसा जम्मा गरेर
रेशम सर मलाई यस्तो आश्चर्य लाग्यो। यसपालि म गएँ काठमाडौँ होइन, एयरपोर्टबाट निस्किने बेलामा एउटा मात्रै लिफ्ट रहेछ माथिबाट तल जानलाई, 2 तल्ला बनाएछ। अब डिपार्चर एराइभल बेलालाई एउटा मात्रै लिफ्ट, त्यो लिफ्ट सबै गरिसक्नुभयो, अब त्यो लिफ्टको लागि 1.5 घण्टा कुर्नु पर्यो।
ल हेर्नुहोस् त द्याट इज द एकदम त्यो एयरपोर्ट भनेको त सबैभन्दा पहिलो
कसरी रिस्क एनालाइसिस नगरेको, कसरी नसोचेको। एउटा प्लेनबाट तपाईको कम्तीमा 300-400 मान्छे आउँछ, त्यो एउटा सानो लिफ्टमा 3 जना मात्रै हटाउने लिफ्टमा कसरी कति बेर लाग्छ त्यति पनि सोच्न सक्ने क्षमता नभएको
देशको सबैभन्दा इन्ट्रिकेट फेरि एयरपोर्ट हेर्नुहोस्। देशको सबैभन्दा पहिला होइन भन्नु न, तपाईँको बिल क्लिन्टनले रे पहिला सबै इन्डिया घुमेछ, वरिपरि अब श्रीलङ्का घुमेछ। अब यो नेपाललाई किन छोडौँ, अब चाहिने नेपाल पनि गइदिउँ त भन्ने खालको कुरो भयो त्यतिखेर बिल क्लिन्टन त्यो अहिले 90s को त पाला हाम्रो रविदा यता आउने बेलामा। तपाईँको नेपालमा तपाईँको अब उसलाई चाहिँ एउटा 500 चाहिने ऊ चाहिन्छ, के अरे यो स्विट रुम चाहिन्छ उसको बडीगार्ड त्यसको टिमलाई, त्यो उसको प्लेन ल्यान्ड गर्ने क्यापासिटी नै छैन एयरपोर्ट भन्नुहोस् त। अब हामीले त्यो ठुलो कुरो गरेर कामै छैन त्यसको त। अब यति ऊ छ कि तपाईँको कुरै छोडिदिनुहोस् त्यो। अब देशको त अब धेरै गाह्रो छ सर, सबै पैसा जान्छ,
इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चरमा काम भइरहेको छैन, साइन्समा काम भइरहेको छैन र जथाभावी विवादहरू जथाभावी कुरोहरू चलिरहेछ नेपालमा। करप्सन हाईमा छ, गतिलो काम भइरहेको छैन, गतिलो काम गर्न खोजिरहेको छैन।
इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर सबैभन्दा पहिलो कुरो इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर। ल हेर्नुहोस् एउटा मात्रै त्यो मुगलिङको बाटो छ, मुगलिङको बाटो छ हेर्नुहोस् त। अब त्यो बाटोको बिजोग पहिरो गएर यति बर्बाद छ कि तपाईँको जब जुन देशमा इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर हुँदैन, यो अमेरिका किन यति अगाडि पुग्यो भन्नुहोस् त। यहाँ यस्तो लाग्छ मलाई त यहाँको जुन बाटो छ नि 8औं आश्चर्य हेर्नुहोस् तपाईँको। यहाँ यस्तो कुनै ठाउँ छैन कि चाहिने ओ विकट ठाउँ भनेको देख्नु भएको छ, अमेरिकामा छैन नि त। किन थाहा छ? बिकज अफ इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर। अब नेपालमा तपाईँको वहाँ जुम्लामा तपाईँको स्याउ कुहिएर फाल्छन्, काठमाडौँमा त्यही स्याउलाई हामीले 500 रुपियाँ किलो किन्नुपर्छ भन्नुहोस् त, बिकज ल्याक अफ इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर। किनकि त्यो स्याउलाई हामीले हेलिकप्टरबाट ल्याउनु पर्यो, वी क्यानट अफोर्ड टु बाई द्याट होइन। त्यहाँ बाटो हुन्थ्यो भने त हामीले त्यो बाई रोड ल्याउन सक्छौँ, इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चरले धेरै ल्यागिङ गर्छ सर। एनीवे थ्याङ्क यू।
नो प्रब्लम हो, हामी कुनै बेला धेरै राम्रो यसमाथि
रवि दाइले अस्ति भन्नुभएको चाहिँ मिटिङ गरेर मलाई बडा खुसी लाग्छ। उहाँ पनि यसो पोलिटिकल ब्याकग्राउन्डबाट
उहाँको पनि विचारहरू सुन्नु एकदम राम्रो कुरो हो। हजुर एकदिन बसौँ ल, अब क्लासको बाहिर बसौँ। हजुर
हो
हस् त, सबैजना आउनुभयो? सरी कृष्णा, we were talking about you.
I'm not worried.
Okay.
I'm used to it.
Okay. No, we were not talking about you.
I know, I can tell when people are talking about me.
Okay.
But don't accept that as your karma, okay?
दुर्गा जी चिया लिनुभयो? संदेश जी ए हजुर संदेश जी, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Good, okay. मिलन सर चिया लिनुभयो ब्रेकमा?
लियो सर, लियो।
ए हजुर हजुर। चिया लिनुहुन्छ कि कफी बिहान?
हामी चिया लिन्छौँ सर।
चिया
नखाइकन त दिनै सुरु भयो जस्तो लाग्दैन।
त्यही त त्यही हाम्रो सबै नेपालीहरूको बानी भइसकेको छ बिहान बिहान चिया तातो चिया तर जे होस् मलाई अझै पनि आफ्नो नेपालको चियाको स्वाद चाहिँ यहाँ मिस हुन्छ
त्यसमा ल्वाङ सुकमेल हालेर टक्क लाएर
है
हो अदुवा टप अफ दैट अदुवा पनि है यस्तो मिठो लाग्छ मलाई अदुवा
कति मिठो हुन्छ ओ
जसरी
जति भए पनि हामी विदेशमा आयौं सबै सुख छ तर सबै सुख छैन केही न केही दुःख पनि हुन्छ
ध्रुवजीको र मेरो गाउँमा त ल्वाङ सुकमेल अदुवा अरु केही हुँदैन तर डढेको दुधको चिया डढेको दुधमा बनाएको चिया ओ माय गॉड
अनि त्यो माथि कडक चिया अलिकता उ के रे
डढेको दुधमा त्यो भाँडोमै खन्याके दिनभरि पकाइराखेको हुन्छ
अनि अर्को के हुन्थ्यो भने हाम्रो तराईतिर के 3 किसिमको चिया बनाउँछ के एउटा लोकल चिया एउटा स्पेशल चिया अब स्पेशल चियाको एकैचोटि डबल प्राइस हुन्छ तपाईले भन्नु पर्छ कि मलाई स्पेशल चिया देऊ भने अनि
तर अहिले त सर नेपालमा सबै चिज फ्यान्सी भनिसक्यो चिया पसलहरू पनि तपाईको 150-200 रुपैयाँ कप रे एकदम फ्यान्सी अहिले मटका चिया के मटका चिया के चिया मल त अब गएको छैन अब रवि सरलाई थाहा होला भर्खर काठमाडौँ
अथेन्टिक स्वाद छैन फेरि चाहिँ के चिया पनि तपाईको चाहिँ अब त्यो एक सर्ट जस्तो भइसकेछ के सर्ट जस्तो लेट्स स्टार्ट
हजुर हस् Is everybody here, Avas ji? He's here. Okay. Avinash ji, Girja Babu.
Yeah.
Girja ji. Yeah. Okay. So let's go back and look at it. So this is discrepancy, and now let's understand what is discrepancy process. Yadi typo bhayo bhane hami if it's a typo, sorry Krista, I got into Nepalese mode, so
you were answering a Rojil question. You reminded how to.
Oh yes, Rojil. Yeah. Can you repeat that question please again? She asked very good question, so let's understand that. Yeah. Do you remember?
Yes. I do. So my question was, if there is a simple typo in the final report, which is the analysis report, so do we still have to are we still creating a different version again, or we can just correct it by writing our initials?
Very good. Can anybody answer this question?
Actually, I didn't even got the question. Too much noises on the background.
Okay. Who have a noise in the background?
Yeah, and Rosal, can you? Can I have a question?
Yeah. So the question is, if there is a simple typo in the final report, which is the analysis report, so in that case, could we just put our initial and just correct it in the final report, or do we have to create a separate version of it? So if it's just a simple typo. So I wasn't sure about that.
Can anybody answer that question?
I mean, if it's just a simple typo and it did not alter your observed result versus expected result, I believe you could just write your initial down. And then...
But how about if it's in the final report, the final analysis report?
That's the key.
Right. If it's already in the final process, but it did not change your expected result and observed result.
Not the process, Durgaji. What she's saying is final report.
Because it is a report, then because it's a documented evidence, which would be your report or anything that has to do with afterwards, after the steps have taken, and say like an analysis report, anything in that it's going to be a discrepancy, because that report, it has to be to exact, because it's going to be in the court. So any of your documented evidence or your expected result has to be down to the T, right?
Right.
Okay. Or
I'll give a small example. In 2010, 2003 census in New York City. I was there, and I was helping the census people as a community member there from South Asia to have that program successful going on. So what happened, they gave me a certificate for helping them out, the census department, and they have by name there, not Adhikari, but Adhikar. You know, so that's the final certificate you have there with my missing, and that is hanging with me for life. So that's what I mean is the final report. You cannot have those kind of things. Certificate, like kind of, you know, the certificate I said, that's just the example. So that even the typo in certificate or the final report cannot be accepted. If that is in progression or is still in review kind of thing, we can correct it, but in final report, we cannot expect it.
That's correct. I agree. Anybody else have any thought, any question?
Yeah, can I say something? For example, our objective is to test the procedure or process, right? So that doesn't affect our like process. That is just kind of human error, something spelling mistake, as you said earlier, like, you know, typo error or something, a grammatical error. That's not our objective to test. Our objective is to the process or the specification or whatever, and we have to focus in that objective, test objective. But yeah, due to this human error, that is, I don't think that's the major discrepancy that can be corrected. But you know, yeah, but like initial something Rosil said earlier, I think that should be put, but that's not our objective to test, right? Our objective is to test process or a specification, whether that is followed by the, you know, by the rule or, you know, according to our, you know, specification. I don't think that is a discrepancy. That is just a human error.
Makes sense. Anybody can defend
But
that?
I think we cannot put just the typo on the final report. I think we have to make a separate discrepancy form for that one.
So, Resamji, a very good discussion here. So I totally agree. What if there is a, you know, grammatical or spelling mistake in the report, you know? So if there is a comma missing, maybe it's not, you know, it's not going to change anything. Am I right? For the outcome. But as long as any changes in the report from the specification, it is considered as a discrepancy. If it's in your step instruction, it is typo. You don't need to be worried about. You can fix it. But if it's in the report, it has to match exactly same with your specs. If it differs anyway, it is discrepancy. The system has to reflect that. Yeah. Okay.
It's just like if you get your license, like for example, your license, when you get your driver's license or an ID, it's a document, like say it's a documented evidence. If they went off by one name or by one number, it would be an issue, right?
That's right.
So that's the same way with, I feel like with these, like with reports for this, you can't just like, you can't change that, like, because it is a legal document, it has to be exact.
Yeah. Okay, so let's focus on what happens, what we do when discrepancy recognize that this is discrepancy. If it's typo, we go, we correct it, we initial date, give the explanation, and it's done. But when it's discrepancy, then what we do? Okay, so that's what we're gonna talk. Okay. So this works up. Okay. So when discrepancy occurs, first thing, stop. Take a screenshot of what occurred, if it's possible. If you can take a screenshot or picture, take it right away. What happened? You know, why you think it's a discrepancy? it didn't match with the expected result. But what happened, and why? Because when somebody gonna do the root cause analysis, they need all the evidence. They need to dig what happened exactly. So if you don't have objective evidence or a screenshot, they're gonna ask you 10 questions. They're gonna bug you in the meeting. For validation engineer, you're not gonna be part of root cause analysis. It's above your pay grade. Your valid and system manager and admin, they will do the root cause analysis. But you need to give them enough information that what happened, what did it go wrong. So that has to be taken. So take a screenshot, contact your validation lead. The reason you need to contact your validation lead is because if this step fail, can I keep on testing? Keep going and testing other steps or not? Because if there is an impact of this step to next step, your valid will say, hey, stop, go home and enjoy. Once this discrepancy is fixed, then you continue testing again. Sometimes you just home for 15 days doing nothing and you get paid. Don't be worried. This is how it works. This is how it works. So when discrepancy happens, contact your validation lead, notify your QA. Validation lead will determine if testing can continue, check impact and give justification if continue. So the validation lead has to check the impact of that failure and then give the justification if they can continue that or not. Okay. Description crime scene investigation. When documenting the discrepancy, include the following as possible. What was observed in sufficient detail? So as far as validation engineer is concerned, what they do is they just they have to fill up a form, okay? So the form is like this. Let me show you. Not this. So form is like this. So as a validation engineer, you have to fill only this part. And in this part, what it is detail the discrepancy. The individual who made the observation should record immediately. What are you gonna say? What happened exactly? Why you think it failed? And give the objective evidence. Add the attachment here. Okay. Once you add the attachment and give enough explanation, then your QA, your validation lead will take it over and you're done. And you go home and enjoy because you found the bug, you found the discrepancy. Now your work is done. You just fill enough detail here in the detail section that what happened, why do you think it's failed? And then, the system manager and process owner, business process owner, and your valid and QA, all those people gonna go and do root cause analysis, impact and corrective action. These three things happens behind your back. So they will be doing what is the root cause, what made this discrepancy happen, and it can be many regions: test script authoring, test script execution, acceptance criteria, test instrument failure, equipment failure, incorrect requirements or specification, test data preparation, program bug or other specify. What was the main cause, of this discrepancy? Then they will fill what is the impact on the document. Then they fill full impact. What is the impact of this discrepancy? Then they will fill corrective action. Now, what you need to do to fix it? So if it's a system bug, if it's a system error, then they have to go back and fix in the system. They have to change the configuration. And then you can execute it again to pass and fail. That's how it works. If it's just a protocol error, then they tell you, hey, fix it in the protocol. If it's a tester error, they say, hey, it's a tester error. And then what is the corrective action? If it's TEP, test execution preparation error, then they say it's a TEP error. If it's a data error, they're going to say it's a data error. So they're going to do behind the back root cause analysis, then impact analysis, then corrective action. They will come up with all those three things. And then if they say retesting is required here, then what you're going to do is you're going to go back and retest the same step again and check if it passes or fail again. Is that clear to all of you? Understood the process, how it works?
Quick question. You mean retesting again? We have to go back and again, like retest the whole thing?
Not the whole thing. That's a step which failed.
But it has to be corrected, right?
Yeah. So
that's what I'm
say
saying.
you're testing test case 2, step number 4, which failed. Okay. So now you're going to say, okay, this test step failed. And this, you give the detail in this form. They're going to do root cause analysis, then impact analysis, then corrective action. Now, if they tell you, hey, go ahead and retest again, this, now it's a fixed. So now you go and retest again and see if it passed this time or not.
Okay, yeah, I got that point. Let me ask you a question, because when you, I mean, like this template is on like on the revised version, right? We need to attach that with on the revised version, right, sir? Or that's not relevant to the process we're doing.
That's
because
not,
this template is different, right? The one
yeah,
which
this
you are showing.
template is different. Your discrepancy form is different. This is different form where you fill what went wrong.
Okay.
Give them the whole detail,
Yeah.
and then sometimes you have to fail that step, and then in discrepancy form only they're gonna pass it here, attach the screenshot, and then discrepancy close out happens.
A quick question: did you already send this template to us in the classroom? I think I missed that.
Did I uploaded it or no?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, you don't have the material to.
Yeah.
Actually, after today's class, it will go into uploading thing, you know.
You
Or-
used to post before the class, but this time I guess you forgot it.
I know. Somebody has to really remind me for these things.
I got it yesterday night one, the other one I would find.
Okay, so class 5. Okay, so create material. I thought I did it, but I can upload it now.
What is that that's at the end of our OQPQ at discrepancy then?
What is that question again?
At the end of our OQ and PQ, there's like there's something that's like has about discrepancies.
Yes. Yeah, we're talking about OQ and PQ discrepancy. IQ, OQ, or PQ, wherever it is.
I think she's referring that there is a discrepancy, like this space inside the IQ OQ template, like not a different one, right?
Template, you mean?
Yeah. Sorry, sir.
It's okay.
No, at the end of
It can be, they are human too. Whosoever write templates.
No, at the end of our OQ and PQ template, it says something. It was like, I gotta go through it. It's like after, it's something about discrepancies.
Yeah,
And in our OQ PQ, the template you sent us.
yeah.
Yeah, you have the discrepancy log. That's what is written on the template at the end
Yeah,
of
that's what it
IQ,
is.
OQ, PQ. Yeah.
That's what it is. Never mind. I knew I seen it. I just didn't know what it was.
We
But
have
I
to
think that's
mention
different
that
than what.
over there. If there's any discrepancy, we have to list it there. I
Right.
think.
Thank you, Razil. Okay,
You're welcome.
sure. Okay, so I posted the material. You guys gonna have it now and here. Okay, so thanks for reminding. So yeah, everything here. And so once it happens, give enough explanation in that form in detail section, and that's it. That's your job, and rest follow. So go through this. If something fail, just give enough explanation, notify the QA, and let your validation lead know if testing can be continued or not. Okay, further, because they have to do impact analysis, and then they can tell you that you can go ahead and test the rest of it, because this step is not depend on other step. Because of this fail, the other step will not fail. Then they let you go ahead and test more steps. But if it thinks that this step will impact other steps, because of this step, other step will fail too, then they will say, stop testing and go home and let us fix this first. Okay, and then you can further test it. This is how it works. Okay, so what was expected, where testing stopped, reference to screenshots, reports, or any related discrepancy, it is a crime scene investigation. So give them enough information so they don't come and bug you asking you 10 more questions. So you have peace of mind. You wrote everything, you gave a screenshot that this is what happened, this is how it failed, and they will do the rest of the things. Okay, so these are some of the exercise which you can do it in your own time. Continue test before discrepancy is observed. Are the remaining steps, why they can continue, what is the impact analysis they do? Are the remaining steps independent on the result of the failed step? If any of the remaining steps and test cases are dependent on the result of the failed step, what steps can be completed before the correct result is needed? These are the impact analysis happens. Are there steps that test the same or similar function? So the validation lead will determine that, and then they will tell you go ahead and test it, and they have to fill rationale for continue validation testing. It's not your job. Validation lead have to check this and then give the rationale, give the reason why he thinks you can continue testing. Okay, that's how this discrepancy thing works. Continue testing before resolving discrepancy. What if we'll have same issue in a step 411 and 420, for example? Each of these steps is preceded by a set up steps from this, so they have to see what are the dependency. Go ahead, Ravi sir.
Are we talking about the domino effect here? The kind of
not domino effect, but they have to understand that because step 4 failed, what happened? Does it impact to step 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10?
That's the domino effect I'm telling. So
Yeah.
we have to go there back and fix until we fix the step number 4.
Yeah.
No matter what you do in 5, 6, 7, 8, nothing is going to happen, or the result is going to be changed.
That's correct.
Unless we fix the 4.
Yeah. So that
is where you are talking about
that
root cause
impact
analysis.
analysis. Yeah, that impact analysis has to be done by validation lead.
Okay.
Not by you. You are just a validation engineer for now, not a validation lead yet. One day you all gonna be there, and do all those things. But right now, you're only going to become a validation engineer. So understand your roles and responsibility. What is your roles and responsibility? So your role and responsibility is you let them know, you fill up that one section detail of discrepancy, and that's it, you're done. Let them do all these, and this is what they do, you know, in behind the back, and that's what about it. So you understand what happens in the back. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Road to the root cause, you know, how they find root cause. These are the things they do behind the back. If you are interested, again, root cause is test functionality written correctly? Is expected result correct? Are the requirements correct? Was the test prep correct? Was the step instruction followed correctly? Were there unknown interactions? Can the result be repeated? Is the software incorrect? Can the software be corrected? Can the result of the fix be repeated? All these questions they have to do when they are doing root cause analysis. You don't have to do it, but if you want to do it, go ahead, be my guest. I will review it. But this is done by another team above your pay grade. You're just going to be a validation engineer. But understand what happens behind the back. Only for FYI, for your information. Okay. Any question, any concern? Okay. So another, you know, root cause analysis example here, you can read through it. I don't need to go through each and every word. This is how the root cause analysis are done. You know, so they write what is the root cause of that discrepancy, and you know, this is how the write-ups are written. So there are some examples of write-up. You can go through it, understand it, but you don't have to do it. Then they have to select the cause of the discrepancy, as I showed you in that form. You know, what was the cause? Was it test script authoring, test script execution, acceptance criteria, test instrument failure, you know, instrument equipment failure, incorrect requirements, all these things they have to figure out. And what was the reason, right root cause of the discrepancy? They need to figure that out. If the discrepancy occurred because of functionality already existing in production, now understand this part. Assesses the impact on product quality, process, product related data integrity. If there is impact, initiate a deviation. So discrepancy can become a deviation, and deviation can become a kappa. This is how it works. So when it becomes deviation, when system is already in production, means system is in use, and this functionality may impact product quality, processes, or product related data integrity, then it becomes a deviation. Understand this again. They might ask you this question. So there is a process. First thing you heard, there is a typo. If in execution, if something goes wrong, there may be typo. Typo, you can fix it there, then and there, initial and date. Then discrepancy. If you find discrepancy, fill up the form and give it to your val lead and QA to do root cause analysis and, you know, all those impact analysis and come up with the corrective action. But if the system which you are executing is in production, means it's already in use, and this functionality may impact product quality, this failure of the functionality may impact the product quality, processes, and product related data integrity, then you have to initiate a deviation. Now deviation, each deviation is a process. Deviation is reportable to FDA that, hey, I have a deviation in my system, and that deviation can turn it into kappa. So the moment it become deviation and kappa, it's directly connected to FDA. FDA needs to know about it. Then you're time bound. You have to fix it within that timeline. So all these things happens behind the back. Any question, any concern?
Yeah, I have one question.
Go ahead.
As far as kappa is concerned, so who is taking care of the kappa? I mean, the team of the within the like.
Yeah. So
you
there
know,
is a kappa
team.
team, separate kappa team, who will take care of the kappa. You may join the kappa team for validation purpose. You're a validation engineer. So initially they might ask you, hey, can you help me in the kappa for validation? And you may, and that I will walk you through when I will walk you through for the kappa, that how kappa works. And that is a separate class. But right now you're not becoming kappa engineer. You are becoming validation engineer. So kappa engineer is a separate job. You understand? So, but I will give you guys some overview and some information about kappa and how kappa works. Kappa means nothing but corrective action and preventive action process. And kappa is highly practiced in engineering and also in regulated industry. So, but as a validation engineer, you need to understand how kappa works, you know, at least for your information. So that I will explain you guys in a different class.
Yeah, so I have a question, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
So while in the production process, if the label printer doesn't print like 1,000 pages,
yes.
So does it comes under kappa or what? So since
It can become your deviation, yes.
Okay, so
and deviation can turn out to be kappa.
So on what factor does it affect, like the quality, process, or data integrity? What do you think it affects?
Quality, product quality.
But it is still printing. It is still printing my resolution, what I'm expecting.
So the process, you have process defect. Am I right? And it can become deviation, and then it can become kappa if it's a pattern. If it happens more than once, then it becomes kappa.
Is there like a standard number? Like it happens more than a month or like more than 6 times, then it converts into kappa?
There is a criteria.
There is a criteria.
Yeah, there is a
But we don't need to know that, right? As a validation
no,
engineer.
it will tell you in your kappa SOP when it becomes kappa. So when you read the kappa standard operating procedure, it will tell you what pattern they consider to make things kappa.
So in our language, it's out of our scope, right?
Out of your scope, yes, yes. It's out of the scope for the validation engineer. Totally.
We have to practice our language, you know.
Yes, yes, totally. Yeah. All right, so moving forward, example had failure of a replication of DR environment during validation testing, checked production environment. It was also not replicating issued deviation. So, you know, that time it creates deviation. So everything in this regulated industry is a process. Now deviation have its own cycle, and somebody, your valid has to take that to the next level of deviation. And deviation have a different process. They have to report it within three days. They have to create a deviation within 24 hours. They have to get it approved. Now deviation will also have root cause analysis, impact analysis, corrective action, and they can go ahead and close the deviation, or that can become a kappa. Now, if it becomes a kappa, then kappa will take 6 months to do the root cause analysis, you know, various root cause analysis, why it has a pattern, why it fails again and again, what is the root cause of real problem. All those things happen behind the back. It's a different process. So you don't need to know all of it right now as a validation engineer. As you get into there and grow, you're going to understand all those things slowly, little by little. Make sense? Okay. So does the discrepancy impact just that step or other steps? In other test cases, if that happens, does the discrepancy impact other functionality in the system, other functionality with another system, functionality that requires input from the business, any requirements, SOP or work instruction, is retesting required? All these things they have to think through, not you, but the other team. But this is what happens behind the back. So understand how this process works. Okay. You have another exercise for evaluation impact assessment, some of the write-up for impact assessment, how this is written, the impact assessment, then corrective action. Then they have to think about corrective action. What is the corrective action of this discrepancy? Any correction to the test instruction. Do we have to revise or do we have to change the test instruction? Document title and ID if a requirement needs to be updated. Now, think about it. Now you might have to go back and revise your URS, revise your FRS. If you revise your URS and FRS, that means you have to revise your RRA. So everything got impacted. You see, everything is connected. So if there is an issue in requirement, that means all your documents are impacted. So everything has to go and revise it. That's part of your corrective action. Am I right? Can you relate what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what I was telling you earlier about the domino effect.
Yes, yes.
Connected with one another.
Connected with each other. Yes, yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Details for any change to the test prep, any test preparation needs to be changed. Any step that need to be repeated, that also they need to think. Whether the new TEP data is required to repeat the step. Now, you're going to repeat the test. Do you need another new test execution preparation data or new tool in test execution preparation? All those things they have to record it. Whether the original or new TEP data will be used for remaining test steps. Also, they need to think in corrective action. Any corrections made to the software or configuration. Did they go and change the configuration or code of the system? That also they need to specify there. Whether the code review will be needed. If they did change in code or configuration to fix that problem, they have to do the code review again. That also need to be specified there in corrective action. Corrective action must be worded in a manner that they can be closed during the validation, example, document revision. So they have to give you a step-by-step corrective action in order to follow. So if you see that form here, these are root cause analysis, this is impact, and here corrective actions, they have to tell you exactly what to do. So what they say, fail the section 1, step 6 and refer this discrepancy number, re-execute the section 1, step 6 to perform sanity test for the impacted page and hierarchy parameters. Also capture screenshots for the applicable derived parameters. So now you have to go and retest again to make sure that this time it passes. Understood?
Excuse me, yeah, I have one question. It's a word, this sanity test is familiar. So I heard somewhere, I don't know. What does that mean? Sanity test.
Sanity test means, yeah, those are the words you're gonna hear in this industry. So sanity test means it may not be formal test, but you test it, make sure, test it and make sure that it works now.
Okay. I heard somewhere, maybe in Q. Thank you.
Yes, sure, So this is how your corrective actions are recorded, and this is how it will be written here. You saw in the form, and create a child task, blah blah blah. It will tell you everything how to do. So these are your your steps, and you will see retesting required. If it's ticked, that means you need to retest. Some of the time you may not have to retest it again. Okay, so those are the things. So like this, if it's not checked here, that means you don't need to retest again. It's already fixed. Everything is good to go. And your valid gonna go and close out the discrepancy form. Okay, so this is how it will be written. So why to talk to QA? QA is resource. Make sure you are on the right track. Offer suggestions if you stumped. Helps you with compliance issues. So you must talk with QA before you complete your discrepancy and close your discrepancy. When to talk to QA? Notify when discrepancy occurs right away. Let him know. The most effective time to consult with QA about discrepancies before corrective action is approved. So, I would prefer just let them know right away. Okay. Now close out. First check, has each item listed in the corrective action. There is a YouTube video here. If you want to, you can go, and check. Help me help you. You guys saw this movie, am I right?
Jerry Maguire?
Jerry Maguire. Help me help you. So yeah, so that's how it is. Let your QA know, help, and that will help you. So close out, first check, has each item listed in the corrective action has been addressed with the result where all the implemented corrective action results successful. Are any references, example PR documented, then briefly describe the actions performed to complete the corrective action and result. So you see in this form, we have to go as a validation lead and we have to fill out here, close out, discrepancy, close out. Okay, what all the things we have done and is it closed successfully or not? Sometimes your discrepancy may not be closed successfully. So you have to refer it to next phase. Okay, right now we cannot close it, but we still can go in production. So you have to give all the rationale. The validation lead has to write all the rationale, all the reasoning, why you think, even if it's not closed, but you still can go and use your system. All those things comes into the picture. So when you become the validation lead, that's when I will teach you guys how to write these closeout things. But right now, it's not your job. Just know this is how it works. And they have to sign and do this. And this is closed. Now discrepancy is closed and that's it. You're done. So take away from the class. Yes, go ahead.
Quick question.
Go ahead, please.
You mentioned even though on the discrepancy closeout, it doesn't mean that every discrepancy will be sorted out, right?
That's correct.
But that doesn't mean it will be converted to the deviation until and unless it goes to the production.
That's correct.
Okay, all right, thank you.
That's correct. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, many things can happen there, but the thing is, you just need to understand how it works, but you don't have to do it. You just have to fill up that detailed form and you're done. And then go and do the corrective action, whatever they tell you to do. So as a tester, as a validation engineer. So understand what a potential discrepancy, understand what having discrepancy means, understand what to do when potential discrepancy encountered, how to problem solve to find the root cause, understand what to include when investigating the root cause, impact, and corrective action, communicate effectively with your QA. These are the things you understood today, and go through the slide again, revise if you need to, keep it for your record. Any question, any concern? Yes.
I think the PowerPoint slides that you are going through right now, no, the one you just posted, I think it's missing some of the information. So maybe you might want to replace the one you're using.
Don't be worried, go through the, so this is done in kind of, the PowerPoint is done in a 3D way. So when I upload it, it doesn't catch everything. So you have a workshop a PDF. So go through the PDF, all the information is there.
Okay.
Okay, very good question. Any other question, concern? Did you guys understood what is discrepancy or deviation or kappa, how it works? If anything goes wrong when you execute, that's when it's gonna be. So now, right now, you guys are falling behind. You're not onto the execution point yet. That's why maybe you're not relating everything. That's why I wanted you guys to connect everything together. If you would be executing right now, your IQ, OQ, PQ, you could right away connect to these things. So you are falling behind. So try to catch up, finish your IQ, OQ, PQ so you can execute it. Again, if you need one more week, you don't want to take the class and finish your IQ, OQ, PQ, be my guest. I'm not in a hurry to finish the class. But if some of you or most of you want to go ahead, so next week we're going to study change management, how the change happens in the system. And then, so you have 2 more class left for the class. Then you're going to get into interview preparation classes and all those. So before that, you need to understand everything, what you are doing here. And you still have homework behind. You still need to execute your protocol. First write, get it approved, get it reviewed by me. And then once it's a final, you're going to change it into PDF and send it to your partner to execute. And you're going to execute others. So you understand what are the things is waiting here for you to do. Is everybody clear?
Yes, sir, but I have questions on this part.
Go ahead.
This discrepancy management part. Do we have do we need to complete the homework on this part also? This one?
Not yet, unless you execute.
Okay.
You cannot, because you're gonna find discrepancy when you execute. Am I right? You're still writing. So how are you gonna find the discrepancy or deviation, or how are you gonna write discrepancy?
I got
it. This homework is due when you are executing. When you are testing others' IQ, OQ, PQ. Is that clear to all of you? Understood?
Yeah.
Any confusion, any question, any Sandesh? You're too serious, man. What's happening?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Keep smiling, man, sometimes. Life is beautiful. Any concern, any question?
No, not really.
Okay. Life is hard, but it's still beautiful. We have to take it everything positive. DC, are we cool?
Yes, sir. All the time.
All right. Avaz?
Yeah, just let me repeat back with the discrepancy. So like I said, like if it only affects the final report, then it's a discrepancy. Then you have to revise. You don't make the changes on the original content.
No, then you missed the point. It's not only the final report. It's outcome. It's expected result. If it is expected result not matching with the actual result, then it's a discrepancy.
Right.
So keep that in mind. If it's a typo, so if it's in a step instruction, you can still fix it as a typo. But if it's in
the final report,
then
it becomes a discrepancy. Sir.
Yeah. So what I feel is you guys are here. I feel like you guys are falling behind. You know, with the class we are ahead, and then with your homework you are falling behind. So my suggestion, I don't know how you guys wants to take it, but first focus on your IQ, OQ, PQ, get it done and get into the execution. That is important. and then we can take the class. So maybe next week you want to take a break and
Yes,
finish your IQ
Yes,
PQ.
please.
I mean, like that works. Yeah, actually, let's finish the
please.
PDF first and get approved by you, and then we can go on the test execution.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's no point go and finish the class. We have 2 more class left. But unless you finish your homework, you're not gonna know what you're doing. You understand? So even though I want to finish the class, sooner is better. But you know, so I can digest my money. But I want to, Krista is laughing too.
So the execution
You know,
part-
I want you guys to learn, you know, understand everything and do it. It's a hands-on thing. Unless you do it, everything, you're not gonna know. You cannot tell I have experience. Am I right? When you're doing it, that's
Yeah.
when you're gonna say I have done it. And you're gonna get that confidence level. Also, we're gonna have a meet and greet. So you guys can decide, you know, in October, whatever Saturday you guys wants to come. So we have 9th, we have 16th. I might be busy, but I'm free 23rd, 30th. So any of these Saturday, if you guys want, whosoever can make it, let's have.
I would prefer the end of October because now there is Author Gun is coming to San Francisco on the. Are you kidding me?
Who?
Author Gun.
Arthur Gunn from American Idol.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
coming to San Francisco on the 28th, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, 28th. I'm going to Colorado this week, so I'll be in Colorado for like pretty much this whole month until the end of the month. So I can do it on the 30th. That's what I would recommend, if that would be okay with you guys.
Yeah, whenever.
Yeah, that's cool.
Whenever it
I want
works.
to meet
for you.
everyone.
Are you going, Krista, to attend Arthur Gunn?
Huh?
Are you going there on
Yes,
concert?
I am.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, or also, if you guys say, I don't mind to finish next class because change control is not depend on these, but then you have last class, which is validation plan. So, but you still have homework to finish.
I think we can wait till the review class on Thursday and see how much is the
Yeah.
progress of the group,
Yeah,
and
let's
then we
wait
can
till
decide.
Thursday and see how much we
Let's
can
do
finish.
that then.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
But you told earlier that you were leaving to Nepal for on Dasai, right?
I might. I'm not confirmed yet. I might go in November.
Okay.
end. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had everything planned.
No, but even if I go, nothing to be worried about. I can take class from there. So I'm not. I can manage 3 hours from anywhere in the world.
We will do the meet and greet in your house without you.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, yeah. So no, I'm not going in Dasai. I will go in November now.
Okay.
Yeah, I have pushed it to November end probably. So we'll be good. Yeah, so you know that will be great if we can just meet in person one time. That makes a lot of sense. We're gonna meet here, you know, eat, dance, drink. You know, as a Nepali people, we all enjoy drinking beer, wine, whiskey.
But I don't, like if we meet, then like what it's going to be in the evening or in the morning or during the daytime?
Usually in the last classes, what we did is we start gathering at 11.
In the morning?
Yeah. And have lunch, like quick together, cook some of the item here together, you know, chat, talk, you know, there's so many activities we can do, interact with each other, get drunk, dance a little bit, and then by evening, you all can leave. Make sure if you want to get drunk, bring your girlfriend to drive. If you don't have one, you can bring your wife too.
Shame on you.
Then if you bring your wife, then you won't be getting drunk and she won't let you drink.
Now you are talking about kappa.
No, one of my class gathering happened that one of the girls, she got drunk for some reason. And
For some reason.
I mean, she was enjoying so much, and then, you know, she got drunk. So now I had to call her husband to pick her up. And then, because she was living a little far from my home, and Uber would cost a lot of money. So I called her husband, and he came and picked her up, and they were fine.
So
It
that was the
happens.
same girl who texted you at 12:30, right?
No, no. No, that was the other girl. So
So we'll have to get a goat. We should all go in and get a goat then.
yeah, so you guys can decide whenever. I'm fine. Any Saturday, because Sunday is again class time. So I rather don't meet on Sunday. Saturday is kind of my fun day, family day. And so Saturday is fine. And we can, you know, usually in past, what we did is we did kind of potluck, and we also cooked some mutton here, everybody together, and, you know, things like that. So however you guys decide, you know, one of you become a leader and do what you need to plan, and I will take part of it. Mostly I'll buy the drinks, booze, and you know, but however you guys wants to do. Okay.
I'm good with any Saturday, so let others decide.
Okay.
This will be a good time also, because this will be between Dasai and Tihar, after Dasai and before Tihar. So
yeah,
I think it will be in
yeah, it's a
between.
perfect time. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Perfect
one
time
of
there.
the class completed by Holi. Remember, Krista, with Amit,
That
her
was my
husband,
first. That was my
her
first.
husband's class. So we had such a nice Holi that time.
Yeah, that was my first one too. I had never seen. I've only seen it like on TV, and then I was seeing like friends post pictures. But so I got to experience it, and it was so much fun. Oh, we had so much fun.
Yeah.
We literally partied from like 11 that morning to almost midnight.
I know it went all the way till midnight.
It was so much fun.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys can decide whatever, and you know, just start using this here in your class. So here only you guys can discuss, you know, if you need to, in your class section, where, you know, one of you can give that proposal and remaining can do it, or you guys can create your own WhatsApp group or whatever group and discuss this.
We'll
That's
discuss
how-
in class. Class will be good.
yeah, our class here, you know, you can come here and discuss here, you know, just put it here, and, you know, everybody can participate. I know Sonia can't make it, but I'm pretty sure once she get the job in California, that's when she gonna give party to all of you. Okay, Sonika? At that time, the party will be from you.
Yeah, then no problem. Let me have that job first.
Sure, why not? Yeah. So yeah, you all gonna get the job. There's a lot of jobs right now, work from home. Also, it's a good thing, you know, positive thing, and a lot of jobs going on in the market. Is never out of validation engineer job. As long as you can crack interview, you're good to go. If you can crack first or 10th, it depends on you. How you prepare, how much effort you put. Of course, we're gonna put effort as from our side as well, and make sure that, you know, you guys get through this. You know, and,
But sir,
yeah.
is there something like peak months that, you know, there will be more job openings?
Not in this field. You
No.
know, usually it says December is the worst month, but I have seen a lot of hiring in December, especially in pharma biotech, because, you know, in commercial side, what happens that they got out of budget. So
Exactly.
they hire first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. You know, this industry goes by quarter by quarter. So December and January 15 is the worst time. If you want to get hired, get it hired in October, November. That's like third quarter is the best time to get it hired because they need people. They have to spend that money. If they don't, FDA gonna come after them. So, you know, hey, you have not done enough work. So you want to get into the job at that time. December, from December 15 to January 15, it tends to be low hiring. But in this industry, I have seen a lot of hiring at that time too. So I cannot say, but comparatively or statistically, from 15 December to 15 January is your low time. Yeah. To be hired. Okay, any other question, concern? If not, I'm going to stop recording and I'll still be here 10 more minutes. If you have any personal question, happy to help, happy to talk about it.